Things could not be going better for the Sileo Empire. Good afternoon, and we appreciate all of you being part of what is easily the fastest growing show in Philadelphia and across the country when it comes to putting some of the biggest names in all of sports on right here. And get this, some of you, and because of you, I have to say, it is growing to be that type of show. Get this, man, I got to tell you, people down in Tampa on my morning radio show know the National Football Show. And because of what we've done here, I just told Xander, I just got offered another hour. And I'm like, yeah, no, I can't, because you know why? It would interfere here. No. Hey, that's the second gig. This is the primo gig. And it really is because of all of you. We thank you, man. I mean, look, without this, my cat could start a YouTube channel, right? And without you guys, we just wanted to start the program out. And thank you guys very much, man. I got to tell you, it's no question about it. We appreciate it. I mean, people get to come here and post anything they want. Xander and I had a rule that we don't like block people unless you're a complete fool. You don't get blocked here like you do at every other radio station or every other show. Shannon Sharp blocks people. We don't. How you doing, man? And welcome aboard here. Final training camp day for the Eagles. This is it, man. Dress rehearsal's up. The dress rehearsal for the National Football League is it's ending this week. You got the Jets this week, and today was the final day of training camp. Saturday are player cuts. Do you understand that? Saturday are player cuts. So that, again, we're here. We're days out from that September 4th game. If Roseman gets credit for 22 and 24, shouldn't he get blamed for 2023 and soon to be 25? Absolutely. Okay? Thank you for the super chat. Guys, I can't thank you enough. I mean, I really can't. We cannot thank you enough for that. It's awesome. By the way, training camp. We're going to get to all of it. We're going to get to we're going to get to what you guys saw this training camp. Here, let me tell you something about being cut. Let me give you guys a little bit of an experience that I had on being cut and what these players this week are going to be going through. Okay? When I got cut by the Cowboys, I had to walk into Jimmy Johnson's office. A coach who loved me and still does. I had gotten hurt. I blew my calf out. I walked in the office, and you know what he said? You should have went down when you got hurt. We wanted to put you on IR. You know what, my wife, who's listening to the program right now, we were in a grocery store. Butch Davis, I went up to him. I go, hey, coach, how you doing? Love you. And he goes, you stupid ass. You talked yourself off that fucking football team. She was my girlfriend then. She looked at me and she goes, what an asshole. And she wasn't talking about Butch. She was talking about me. You talked yourself off that team? He goes, she goes, that's your friend? I go, yeah. She goes, Jesus criminy. Yep. They wanted me to go on IR. I wouldn't do it. And so I screwed that up. What a mistake. Got another one for you. So Ron Hughes and Kevin Colbert were in Detroit. This is a funny story at the end. And we go in and get this. All of the general manager, the D-line coach, and the assistant general manager go, Dan, go talk to Wayne Fonts. Go talk to Wayne Fonts. They go, we don't want to cut you. But Wayne is committed to this guy named Lawrence Pete. They had Jerry Ball there. I had played in the World League. I had a great year. I started every single preseason game for the Detroit Lions. Every game I started. So I walk in, he goes, look, I've made a commitment to Lawrence. And I was the last player cut. Years later, this is a true story my wife will tell you. We're sitting at a Buccaneer alumni game. We're in the booth. I've got Rich McKay. Get this, I got Joe Gibbs in the fucking building. We're sitting in the Buccaneers executive suite. He's sitting right next to me. He stands up and looks over at my wife and me, and he goes, I got to tell you, you were one of the biggest mistakes I made by cutting you. That guy didn't get 2 inches away. My wife goes, fuck that guy. Rich McKay, the president of the Atlanta Falcons, just reached over to me and goes like this. Hey, did your wife just tell the Wayne Fonts to go fuck himself? I go, I believe she did. I believe she did. Absolutely, man. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, I funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. Tremendous. I mean, yeah, so my wife was like, fuck that guy. Every executive in the building was in there too. Bruce Allen was in there. Joe Gibbs is in there. Rich McKay's in there. My wife didn't give a shit who was in the building or who heard her. It was hilarious. We're there on Alumni Day. We got a chance to go down on the field. Fucking hilarious. Hey, fuck that guy. Oh, boy. Hey, so being cut sucks. Because most of the time it's a numbers thing. Okay? It's totally a numbers thing. All right, guys, do me a favor. As you see, super chats go to the top no matter who you are. Most of the super chats will be read because they're intelligent. And again, some of you and 99% of you don't have to pay for my attention, except a few. And most of you will get them read. And by the way, you know this. What you do by supporting the channel, we appreciate it. Not all of you, but most of you. So we thank you. All right. Sills, you're the only asshole I like. Keep up the good work. Oh, my God. Thank you. Let's F&G, man. Cosmo, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Lamar, thank you for the super chat, bro. Life you live with no regrets. I get it. No, man. Hey, there's no doubt I polluted my own career. There's no doubt. Getting sick and almost dying when I was in Dallas and with the Buccaneers, that did help. And that's why, this John Amici story, I'm kind of fond of, because it kind of reminds me a little bit of my path and what happened to me and how my journey got derailed because of illness. I mean, so I'm kind of partial to that and that story here. Hey, Sills, you're our asshole. We love and respect you, even though you were dead wrong last year. Boy, was I, man. I took it into Keister. This year, I don't know. But hey, God, how you doing? Yes, sir. Let's get into the topics. Holy cow, this is going to be a great year. By the way, I have to tell you something else. You guys have turned a worm for Big Sills here. Really has. It's really great. Thank you, JAKIB. Thank you very much. Prince, one of my favorites. How about this? One of my favorite assholes? I like him. Everything happens for a reason, Big Sills. If you didn't get cut or say off-the-wall things, you wouldn't be here today calling people dumbasses. Look at the bright side of it. Thank you very much. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, man, Prince, you're dead on right, man. You're dead right. Absolutely awesome, man. So let's get into those topics here. How you doing? By the way, can I read you something out of the gate here? Let me go here. And let me read you a list here. Where is that list? I got a fucking great list for Eagle fans. And I want you to tell me what you think of this list. Let me go down here, man. Let me get this here. Here we go. All right. How many guys are hurt? Let's read this. Let's read this list here. Okay? Here we go. A.J. Brown, hamstring. Landon Dickerson, knee. Jordan Mailata, concussion. Tanner McKee, hand. Andrew Makuba, his hymen. Keely Ringo, quad. Devontae Smith, groin. Joshua Kuchi Uchi, groin. Johnny Wilson, knee, ankle, pick one. And Fidel Castro Fields, hamstring. I don't know. Damn. I thought you guys were the masters of health. What happened? What happened? I mean, what happened? What happened to all the health? Roseman is like a garbage collector. He goes picking up other teams' garbage, hoping to find a diamond in the rough. I'll tell you what, Kyle, he's done it every other year. 22 was the garbage can that worked. 24 was the garbage can that worked. 23 was the garbage can that didn't work. What will be 25? The garbage can that kind of works? The garbage can that will work? The garbage can that will be a star like it was a year ago? What garbage can under door number what will be a success this year? All right. So it's the last day of camp. Eagles had, give me a grade. What's this, guys? Then I'll give you my grade. Give me a grade on Eagle training camp. With all those guys being hurt and AJ not practicing really at all during the training camp. Give me a grade on what you think. A B. Hey, on a good note, they ended on a good day. I mean, right? Thanks for the super chat. Give me a grade. And once again, I will use this one. You see what this fucking piece of shit doesn't get? That's how they evaluate who makes the roster and who starts. Okay. Flexen, C. Dual, C minus. What else? What do we got here? Look at this, folks. Got him. This guy paid $15 to get me. Congratulations, I guess. Got him. What a kid. What are you, 5? Dude, grow up. Honestly. Act your age, 4. Give me a fucking break, guy. Jesus Christ, you're like a stalking 5-year-old. I mean it. This guy's ridiculous. I've never seen a child who's in a man's body or whatever he is, whatever. He's a fucking retard. I mean, got him. What are you, 5? Bro, really, this is a show for adults. Not ring around the dumbass. If we give TJ Edwards another year, is he our Bond? No. Bond is more talented and more, he's more athletic. How about this? Let me ask you guys a question. Who do you think regrets letting their player go more? The Giants and Saquon Barkley or the Saints letting Zach Bond go? Dude, this Zach Bond dude, I mean, did you see, what was his ranking? They ranked him in the top 100. What did they rank him? Thanks. What did they rank him? What ranking did they give Zach Bond? What was he, like 26th? 26. So you mean a guy, get this, a guy 26 who was on the Saints roster and they didn't know he was that good? That's crazy. Get this, they got him ranked higher than A.J. Brown. That's remarkable. He's utterly remarkable. So here's my grade on what I think the Eagles did this offseason, or this camp, not offseason, but camp. I don't think they got any continuity going at all whatsoever in the passing game, and I think they had a horrible passing camp. Horrible passing camp. Now, to be fair, you did find Darius Cooper. Okay? He may be somebody important late in the year if there's an injury. So, maybe I'll back up off horrible because you found a guy. You found a guy that probably nobody thought was going to make the team. Probably the most improbable guy to make that roster was probably Darius Cooper. Small school, no one ever heard of. He was undrafted. I mean, they found a guy. They found a guy to make a 53-man NFL team roster that just so happens to be the defending Super Bowl champions. So wait a minute. Darius Cooper wasn't drafted. He wasn't invited to the combines. He's going to make the fucking Eagles? That's remarkable. You guys don't understand how insane that is, that journey. He's not drafted. He didn't go to a Power 5 school. He didn't get invited to the combines, and he's going to make the team? That never goes down. He is your modern-day Vince Papale. That's like Vince Papale making the team. That's like some dude in an open tryout. I mean, what's his salary? $800,000? Crazy. Crazy great. Great. Do you know how great you have to be to earn a spot on an NFL team? You're not earning a spot on the Jets. You're earning a spot on the Eagles. That's really, hey, dude, kudos to you, man. That's a wonderful story. That's unbelievable. Johnny Wilson and Anaya Smith didn't really have active time on the roster that much last year. And you're going to put this guy in the opening day 53? That's crazy. I don't think you understand how hard it is to make the club and grab one of those chairs. Look, I mean, here, let me show you something here. Sil's glazing us now. No, I'm not. I'm glazing Darius Cooper. What's wrong with you, man? Can't you fucking hear? What's wrong with your brains? I'm talking about a kid's journey on making the roster for the Eagles. Where did you get that? Made up. You see when you say something to somebody, what they hear and what you're saying? It boggles the mind on some of the things that you guys process. He fucking heard me glazing the Eagles? Or was I just talking about Darius Cooper making the team and making the defending champions roster? What a douchebag. Dude, you're in timeout. Go sit at the fucking sippy table with the little kids there with the high chair. You're in a high chair for the rest of the day. He's making the team, but Jalen messed up and hinted at it in his interview. I heard the interview too, Prince. I did. I heard that. Okay? I did. Sills knows how to reel us back in, kick our backs in 3 hours and 52 minutes, and give us some praise for 8 minutes. Prince, Twiz, are you fuckers trying to read Big Sills? Who do you think you are, Xander Krauss? Hey, what is that? You've been here too long, Twiz. You're getting Sileo-ized, and you don't know it. Twiz, you're getting Sileo-ized, and you don't freaking know it. Okay? How you doing, Twizwad? Look at that SOB. So B, you just moved up a peg in the old Big Sills ledger there. Flexing, you borderline that toilet. See, most of you are in that toilet bowl spin. You're hanging around there. Some of you are down in the, down there in the LJ section. But most of you are up here, right? You know what the LJ section is? You know when you get, shit on your hands after you do a number 2 and you got to wash your hands 58 times? That's the LJ level. That's where you are. LJ's a really nasty one. He's down there in the bottom. How you doing? There you go. There you go, Kim. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. Hey, appreciate you guys. So here's my grade. Eagles training camp has been, let's take a look at it. Look, the run game, I don't care who you are. The Eagles are going to be in the top 5 in rushing this year, no matter what. You will be in the top, unless Barkley gets injured. You will be in the top 5 best running teams in pro football. End of story. Okay? Barring injuries, you're in the top 3. Okay? Barring any injuries. And you got a ton of them right now. Passing game, I don't think you got better. How? Again, you did find Darius Cooper. So you found a player. But your passing game didn't improve. Then again, I don't know if you really wanted it to improve. Your defense, let's go there. There's more question marks now on August 20th than I had going into training camp. You're rotating pieces at edge. Nolan Smith's hurt again. I don't know who the safety and corners are. I don't even know who your rotating people are. You found Moro Ojomo. Yes, you did. Carter's going to be a great football player. Davis, because he lost weight, is going to make him a 3-down player. That doesn't mean you're going to be a 3-down player. I lost weight and I stopped eating White Castle, so I'm going to be a better player. Okay. I can't wait to see that. He doesn't have the skill to be a 3-down guy. Now, all of a sudden, because he stopped eating cheese dogs, he's going to be a 3-down player? Okay. How did eating a sandwich or not eating or eating a half a sandwich make him a better player? That's what you're telling me? Hey, Seals, you see this? Jordan Davis is eating half a sandwich. He's a 3-down guy now. Okay. Wow. Okay. So he eats a half a hoagie and he's ready to roll. Got it. Yeah, I've heard that before. Nah. Holy cow. Hey, you don't know how many people over on my Twitter. Hey, Sills, you see the shape that Jordan Davis came in. Hey, congratulations for doing what? Your job? Yeah, and he goes, and they go, you see how, hey, he's going to be a 3-down guy now. Why? Because he laid off the chili fries. Oh, okay. Yeah. He's going to lay out the chili fries. So here's my great, and then, Kevin Patullo. I won't go Bobo Patullo, but I'll go Buddy Patullo. Okay, I'll do Buddy. I won't do Bobo like Angelo Cataldi. Okay? I'll do Buddy Patullo. So my overall grade would be this. For training camp for the Eagles. C+. C+. And let me ask you something. You think the Eagles have momentum heading into the Dallas game? Yes or no? You think they have momentum? with this. AJ hurt, Landon hurt, Mulata hurt, Makuba hurt, Ringo hurt, Smith hurt, Uche hurt, Wilson hurt, and Fidel Castro hurt. You think they got momentum? I don't. How do you have momentum when you're injured? Where's the momentum? I mean, you want to go into camp feeling good about your roster. Not feeling, by the way, I'm not talking talent here. I'm talking about just health. Okay? Look at this. Right? Where's the momentum? Where's your momentum? Question, Sills. I saw a few years ago that Sirianni has a lot of family and friends in the lower level college football. Cool. Could that be the reason why they land UDFAs like Reed and Darius? Could be. Got a lot of connections at the college level? Sure. A lot of guys go through the cracks, dude. How about this one too, Eric? One of the biggest disservices that the National Football League does, they don't recruit HBCU kids enough. They don't send NFL scouts down to the black colleges, and they don't do a good enough job at surveying the HBCU. How many other Travis Hunters and Shedeur Sanders are at the HBCU level? You think those were the only fucking two? One guy was the second pick in the draft. The other guy is a quarterback with the Cleveland Browns. You're telling me that those are the only two guys in the history of the HBCU over the last 2 years that are NFL worthy to take a look at, right? Or Division I AA school. You're telling me those guys, NFL doesn't look at those players enough. Nor, you know why the Raiders were great in the 70s and 80s? Because they did their due diligence looking at those small schools. And Al Davis was known for being an HBCU guy. So Travis Hunter, he was an HBCU guy. He's Jackson State before he went to Colorado. That's right, Kyle. Steelers did it too. You think there's any coincidence the Steelers and the Raiders in the 70s and 80s were phenomenal because they were at the black colleges? The NFL doesn't recruit them. They don't look at them. Do you know there were only 2 kids out of all the HBCU schools that got invited to the combines? Year before, no one did. Come on, man. Really? Yeah, well, I'm not buying that. I would have a scout in my building that was exclusively looking at those black colleges and looking at those kids and looking for great coaches. Okay? You do a disservice to your pro football team by not looking at some of the – let me say this to you. If you went to the Hall of Fame and you put Hall of Fame players from the HBCU versus the Hall of Fame that went to big schools, that HBCU would hang with themselves. They'd hang there. Walter Payton, some of the greatest players that ever played, Jackie Slater, Robert Brazil. Shit, dude. Upshaw and Shell were HBCU guys. Little different now, I get it. Cliff Branch was an HBCU guy. Harold Carmichael, Joe Green was HBCU. Joe Green's one of the greatest defensive linemen in the history of the NFL. If not the greatest. He's a black college guy. But I'm sure there's no black guys down there now that are worthy of looking at going to the combines. Give me a break. That's why guys like Darius Cooper, they fall through the cracks because the NFL doesn't go anywhere but Georgia and Alabama now in the SEC and the Big Ten. Okay? I mean, it's stupid. That just shows you how many good players are out there if given an opportunity. Okay? Steve McNair, HBCU. Absolutely, man. I agree, Sills. It's pure laziness that an advantage of you are. That's right. It's totally an advantage if you go to those programs. That's right, McNair. Okay? Thanks for the super chat, guy. So you go there, okay? You go there and you recruit those guys. So again, I give them a C plus. I give the Eagles a C plus with no momentum heading into Dallas. Okay? None. Other than Jack Cam, the 70 Steelers was Division II schools and HBCU. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, Kent State with Lambert, the defensive backfield was majority HBCU. Holmes and LC Greenwood were all HBCU guys. B minus, okay, B minus, C plus, I'm all right with that. Absolutely. I give the Birds incomplete. Okay. Holy cow. That's a little tougher than even me. I give the Birds incomplete. We don't know who's playing corner or safety. Wow. All right. Okay. What do you now? So I said C plus and B minus. Cool. You can go there. What do you make of all the injuries? Is it concerning? Are the injuries concerning now? They're surely mounting up. That's really a great question. Abe, I'll give you some insight. Do you guys want to hear what Clint Hurt thinks of the Eagles training camp for the defensive line? Would you like to hear it? Would you? You guys want to hear what Clint Hurt thinks of the defensive line's effort this training camp? You want to go down the list of the players? Let me get the sheet. Because they're now down to cut time. There's still a few dudes that could make the team depending on how well they play in the Jets game, I'm being told. Okay. I have an overall view. Hey, Xander, I missed that super chat. I had to go to the email to get that sheet from Clint. Let's not forget one of the all-time great running backs, Brian Westbrook. That's right, from Villanova. Was third-round pick out of a Division I AA school. Shit, Howie Long went there too. The Raiders were notorious for Division I AA, and they were notorious for HBCU, getting great players out of those programs. Okay, so let me give you the latest. Let's start with Moro Ojomo. I want to read this here for you. Moro Ojomo excelled in training camp, got better each and every single week. Still question marks on rep count and reps during the year. Has shown an ability in a second pass rush. Is the most improved defensive lineman in training camp. That's a great question. Who's the most improved person in training camp? Might be Tyler Steen or Moro Ojomo. You guys think? Moro Ojomo and Tyler Steen? Most improved players? Those two guys? It's going to be all on snap count for Moro. They're not sure. Vic thinks he's a little undersized to take on the reps. Al Davis saw it. Art Shell, excellent head coach. He also, Gene Upshaw, Upshaw and Shell on the left side for over a decade, all HBCU. Jordan Davis had a good camp. He was effective in run stopping, improving in pass rush. They still question if he's a 3-down guy. Now, they're going to give him an opportunity to be a 3-down guy because of the trade of Booker. Dude, the trade of Booker is more of an issue than you think with depth. Okay? Let's see here. Gabe Hall. Guys, Xander, I know we were talking. I went over this before before the Booker trade. Remember I told you Gabe Hall was making the team? Well, who do you think I heard that from? I said, Gabe Hall's making this team. That was a month ago. It was a week before the trade. I said, Gabe Hall's making this team. I didn't know that they were going to trade Thomas Booker. I did not know that. And I don't think Vic or Clint knew that. Those coaches had no idea how he was going to make that move. You understand that. They didn't know that. They're just developing the players. How he comes in and takes these players off their roster, and Nick doesn't give anybody a heads up. They don't give them a heads up at all. They come in, put a guy in the team, take a guy off the team, they do this stuff every single day, and Nick doesn't give anybody, hey, listen, we're talking about potentially trading it. They don't do that. It is insane. That is flexing. That's nutty on how they do their business. You look up and Vic's got a corner he's never heard of. I mean, Nick's the only, but Nick doesn't tell his own coaches. Now, some would say this, all right? Does it work? Yes. You can't argue with success. Now, I'm with you. I wouldn't like that shit either. But, hey, dude, been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. Last 8 years, you're one of the better programs in the National Football League. Okay, what's your bitch? Right? Well, I want to be able to work with a guy. And you're like, yeah, well, guess what? I make the calls here, guy. You don't. I told you from day one, I couldn't believe how much I had to convince people. Those coaches don't have any say whatsoever on who stays on the roster and who doesn't. Seals, no BS. Who would you start at? You know what? That's a great exercise. And I'll tell you who I'm going to pick here as my starting defensive team. I'll tell you who I think should start here on the last day of training camp. I'll tell you what. This Byron Young, they like him. The kid Evans and Sykes are going to be cut, but they like this kid Young. They think he's coming along. He's smart. You know what they said too? That this guy is like a coach. This guy, he's got a great feel for the game. He's exceptionally smart. He sees the plays. He knows that, with depth and splits, backfield sets. Let me say this to you. That guy Young is so far ahead of Ty Robinson. It's like that guy went to Harvard and Ty Robinson went to a community college. His knowledge is 10 times Ty Robinson. 10 times on how smart he is. So, yeah, they like them guys. Here's who my starting team would be. Morrow at left defensive tackle, left end. Nose tackle, JD. Right defensive end, Jalen Carter. Will linebacker. He can't play strong side. He can't. Nolan Smith cannot play on the strong side. He can't take on tight ends and offensive tackles. The guy's not built for that. He's just not. He's a little dude. Plus, you want to be able to use that 4.4 speed of his. Get this. Defense is set. Nobody knows who's playing fucking corner or safety yet. But this douchebag thinks that it's set. Nice try, kid. So I'm going to put Nolan and my strong side linebacker, I'll put Jalix Hunt. By the way, I'm not sold on Jalix Hunt. I like the kid. I like Jalix Hunt. I don't know who he is. I don't know if he's good enough. I have no idea. I like this player. I like him. There's something to him. I see it. Vic sees it too. Okay? Wishful thinking. Now, who plays the right inside linebacker? Dean's he's not in there. So who's playing it? Campbell or Jahad Campbell? Who's playing it? Who's playing right inside linebacker? Get that right. Yeah, who's playing left inside linebacker set? That's Zach Bond. Who's playing it? Jahad? No way. You got to put Trotter in there. Jahad Campbell doesn't know the playbook yet. You're going to put a guy in there who doesn't know how to play? Doesn't know the plays? 4 months, you're going to put a guy who you think is going to pick up a complex linebacking scheme and Vic's linebacking scheme. You're going to put Jahad Campbell in there as a starter. That's what you're really doing? No way. I don't believe that guy's ready. I don't think he knows the plays. It's not that he's not good, and he's not better than Trotter. Trotter knows the system. I'm playing the guy that knows where to line up. That's probably more it right there. Trotter early on. That's right. And Munden's going to be my swing linebacker. So Munden's going to play the role of Oren Burks of a year ago. That's how I would do it. So I'd put Trotter in there. By the way, Trotter's a downgrade from both Burks and Dean. So you have a downgrade massively at the right inside linebacker. And don't say it's equal. Trotter is not going to give you the year that Nakobe Dean did last year. So don't fucking go down that lane. That is a massive drop-off. Trotter's slow. He's a liability in pass coverage, but at least he knows where to go. And do I think that the guys in front of him, Davis and Carter, can help him in the run game? I do. He's going to have better people playing next to him too, because he's going to have Zach Bond on the other side. So that will help him. Do you guys know how does Davis and Carter and Bond, how does that help a slower Trotter? How does that help him? Let me show you here. When you've got guys that play that well and are that good, you shrink the space that they have to make plays in. He doesn't have to be fast. He just has to cover limited space, whether it's behind him or in front of him or scraping down the line of scrimmage. Okay? When you got sorry-ass dudes next to you, there's more space on your right and your left, and you're getting driven off the ball. Because why? The guys in front of you are getting driven off the ball. Which means what? Your line of scrimmage, your linebacker's scrape lane is moved back 1.5 yards. By the time you make a play, you're making a play 4.5 yards down the field. That's right, Brian. The triangle is the key essential thing for any linebacker in the middle of the field, because when you're in the middle of the field and you've got good players on both sides of you, that shrinks your space on what you have to cover. When you've got bad players around you, you saw it in 23. Lanes were wide open. You couldn't cover in space, and you were horrific in tackling. Why were you bad in tackling? Well, tackling these guys with that much space in today's NFL is impossible. It's impossible. So, Trotter could be helped. Yes. Campbell's the better player. He's just not ready yet. And again, you know how they're going to get him ready? They're going to rotate him. Trotter and Jahad Campbell are going to rotate. That's not awful. Okay, that's not going to be an awful scenario there. But Trotter's a downgrade. Campbell will offset that downgrade because he'll get a chance to make splash plays. Okay, he'll get a chance. Let's go here now. Jalix Hunt. Jalix Hunt for me in camp, and what folks are saying has done this. You know what he's really good at? Does anybody in here know what Jalix Hunt is good at? What is Jalix Hunt good at? Do you guys know? Brian says speed, bending. Here you go. That's why he's starting. Not because he's fast. Not because he's bend. This a little bit too. But because he can set the edge. Okay? He's good at setting the edge. And he's good at dropping in coverage. Vic doesn't give a shit if you're going to get him 7-8 sacks out there. He cares that you get him 7 sacks, set the edge, keep everything in the middle of the field for Zach Bond and everyone in the middle of the field to make plays. Do you understand what the cover 2 Vic Fangio defense is? They want to push everything inside. They want all the traffic to be inside, not on the numbers on the outside shoulder. They want everything inside, and with the 2 high, they want them underneath. Keep everything underneath and in the middle of the field. It's more like corralling. Okay? It's more like corralling. That's what it is. It's more like corralling. Okay? So you keep everybody in the middle of the field. Let's go here. Quinyon Mitchell. I brought this up yesterday, and I'm going to do it again here. I don't think I've made my point. Left corner. Okay. How many people think that Q is going to excel this year? How many people think that he's going to have a great year, Q? Okay? How many people believe that? Okay. It's all going to be contingent on who's next to him. I don't give a shit if you're Sauce Gardner or if you're Patrick Surtain. If you don't have good people playing next to you, you're going to be fucking exposed by having to cover a canyon. And in a 2-high safety, remember, he doesn't play man. Guys are going to roam free all over the field if the people in front of him, on the side of him, are not playing up to snuff like they did a year ago. What was the key last year to Q playing so well? Linebackers were great in space. Linebackers were great in the zone coverage. The defensive line was great when it came to stopping the run. They set the edge well, and it allowed those guys to have limited space and coverage. He covered limited space. Well, if you don't get the edge set, your linebackers can't cover, and the guy playing next to him or on the other side is getting exposed. I don't give a shit what Q does. And especially if he's traveling, it won't matter. The zone will be bigger. Lesser players Trotter's a lesser player than Dean. Do we not agree? Well, that's a liability in your zone coverage already. I mean, that's a liability. And if you don't know who your second safety is, that's another liability. You've got more space at safety and corner right now and potentially linebacker. How are you expecting somebody to cover if they don't know and they're downgrading at those positions? I mean, really. Okay? Right? So when you say you're going to travel him, okay? You say you're going to travel him. Well, I think he can do anything. That's not the point. This is about a scheme. This is about a scheme. Okay? All right. Do I think he's going to be great? I surely do. He's a great football player. How about this? He has got a lot of skill in a very complex defense. Look, two high safety is an easy defense compared to a man, but Vic's system is without a doubt harder to get because there's more responsibilities. So let's go here again. What do you guys make of Reed Blankenship? Oh, by the way, we're coming up to the end of camp here. Where's the contract? Where's the Reed Blankenship contract? Hey, let's ask M. Reyes that. Hey, M. Reyes, where's the contract? So let's move the sticks again. Let's flip flop on this one. When are we going to see that? When are we going to see the contract? Huh? Let's see. We'll all go by M. Reyes' next prediction. When's the Reed Blankenship contract coming? Okay. Hey, M. Reyes, when's it coming? Everybody, whatever M. Reyes says, I'm going with it. When's Reed Blankenship's contract coming? Waiting. Oh, he don't know? Okay, since he doesn't know, let's ask someone else. Anybody? When's the Blankenship contract coming? Next week? How do you know he's not going to trade Reed Blankenship to Cincinnati for Trey Hendrickson and a draft pick? How do you know? How do you know Reed's not in because his contract is up, right? Or he's in line for a contract, right? How do you know they don't put him in the mix by sending a draft pick, a first and Reed for Trey? Right? When you make that trade with Cincinnati? How about this one? I got a day. And tell me if you guys believe this. After player cuts on Saturday, you think the contract comes Sunday or Monday? when the roster's set? Okay? Do you? Eagles are a super team. That defense is not a super defense. But everyone thinks like Big Silly don't have them in the top 10. Who says I don't have the Eagles in the top 10? Show me top 10 people that think like you, Big Silly don't have. What? Eagles are a super team, but everyone that thinks like Big Silly don't have them in the top 10. Because most of those people were trying to tell you that Brian Johnson was a candidate to be a head football coach in the first 6 games of the season. And I told you he was a bum. And I told you that football team was a fraud. They don't watch the team like we do. They commented from 35,000 feet away. Show me 10 people that think like you. I'll show you there ain't anybody that thinks like me. And that's why I've been on the fucking air for 40 years, douchebag. That's why. That's why. That's why I'm known from coast to coast. People find 10 people. I don't know 10 people I like. So who do you have? I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't gotten there. Free safety. You got to put Makuba in there. He's a better tackler. Sidney's not a good tackler. He can't get people on the ground, and he gets turned around. Sidney Brown has become very limited to me. He looks like a very limited player. I think he's a really good athlete. I think he and Keely Ringo have a lot in common. I think they're both great athletes. I think they both look like they're football players. End of the day, they don't have the skill to play the position. Keely doesn't have the skill to play corner. And Sidney doesn't have the skill to play safety. I just don't see it. I think they're getting better, but better is not going to help you win ball games. I'm going to go with the short tackler. But the problem with Makuba becomes Makuba is injury prone, at least right now. I got a problem by scheming and putting him in my lineup and building my secondary around a guy who gets hurt all the time. So I'm a little suspect. I'm caught between a rock and a hard place here because one guy is a tough kid, can hit, he's fast, he's got a lot going for him, but he can't fucking tackle. Reed will get paid or traded, whatever Howie decides to do. So that's your answer. Thanks for the super chat, douchebag. Yeah. So I got to put Makuba in the I got to put him at safety. At least I get the guy on the ground. Right? So I'm going with Makuba. That's who I think should win the job. Right corner. Right corner. Your massively deep roster and your super roster. Get this. So that guy that posted that, it said that they have a super team. They have a super team, but they had to go out to the 28th ranked pass defense in football a week ago to make a trade for a corner because there's such a super team at corner. What a super team. Hey, a super team, and I have to go fucking trade with the shittiest pass defense in the NFL a year ago to go get a guy. What'd you trade for him? A 4th rounder? Okay. You traded your 2 best corners on a year ago outside of Q. Or you got rid of one and you traded. No, you let both of them go. That's right. You just let them both walk out the building. That's what you did. You let them both walk out the building. And, hey, fuck, bye. And now you got shitbags out there playing corner. Okay. Congratulations to you. Sounds wonderful. So let me pick between the lesser of two evils here. Who do I start at corner with these guys? I guess Dr. Kevorkian and Bennett. Adoree Jackson's trash. Keeley can't play. I guess Tony Bennett. I'm going to go with Tony Bennett at right corner. Fuck. Hey, listen, if I've got to pick a guy, I'm going to pick Dr. Kevorkian and Bennett. I'm going to go Bennett. Super team. I had to go find a guy. All right. We got Tony Bennett now playing right corner. Sure. Get this. Here's the selections to play right corner. Adoree Jackson, who was whacked by the Giants. Bennett, who was on the Raiders 7 days ago. Keely Ringo. Sounds like you upgraded to Slay. And Isaiah. It doesn't even sound like you made. That's like the poorest decision that Howie has made all offseason. You're making your selections out of those three guys? That's horseshit. Cornerback 2 job is being won by what pile of shit doesn't stink. That's right. Okay, who's the lesser suck? Bennett. Okay, he starts. Okay. Yeah. I guess. Ajomo, Davis, Carter, Smith, Bond, Trotter, Hunt, Mitchell, Blankenship, Makuba, and Kevorkian, Bennett, and Coop in the nickel. Or, again, do you think this is a possibility that Cooper starts at the safety position? And even though he didn't really play it, he starts at the safety position? Do you think he rolls that way? Not my fault. You can't comprehend what I'm saying. Makuba, no, AJ or Smitty's level. I never said they were. Yeah? What? Howie's at this point needs to get Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore can play. Gotcha, Twiz. All good, my bad. I think Cooper's playing number 2 corner. Who, Darius? You're going to put Darius. Pretty soon you're going to put Devontae Smith at corner. Okay? Get Devontae Smith to play corner for you. Hey, Smitty, can you go both ways? Yeah, I'll play corner. Dude, that's all this is. My friend, that's all this is. It's not Glaze talk. I don't talk with Glaze like that. You see, there's a few people in here that got jelly donuts in their mouth and glaze and whatever in their mouth. Other than that, we don't talk like that. We just hey man, I'll tell you what, right? My team. What about here? I don't even want to embarrass this guy. What about him? What about him? What about Eli Rex? What about him? What do you want me to say? Okay. What about him? Dude, if Howie trades for another corner and you don't put Cooper DeJean out there, they don't think he can fucking play it. Or hey, don't get snowed over saying this. Hey, listen, The safety position is more important in a defense than a corner spot. But that's why they pay those guys. You contradict the league when you do that dumb shit. Hey, listen, the corner is not as important as the safety position. Since when? Since when? That's to make yourselves feel better and lessen the concern at corner. Well, we got Coop and Q back there. You got Cooper in a less relevant position. Why do you think Cooper did? Don't you think Cooper DeJean benefited from slaying Q a year ago and their play on the corner to squeeze everything inside so he could play inside the way he did? Or no, that didn't cross your mind. Okay? Do you? Don't you think that having guys like that on the perimeter, don't you think those dudes help Q have a great year? Or no? And the two linebackers push. Get this. Last year, you had cornerbacks do this, right? They shrunk the zone, and your linebackers underneath were able to drop. You're throwing in this. Now, if you got a safety and you got a corner that can't cover and hit and tackle, you're this. You got more space to cover. That hurts Q. That hurts him in traveling. No, right? Probably not. Get this. The people on the interior are more important for Q. Yes. Linebackers? Yeah. The safeties? Right. Yes. Because I just said that. Right. He's right. And not getting knocked off the ball in the run game. Right. I'm about to hit Gilmore on X and have his agent get a hold of Howie. You do that, guy. I like it. By the way, put Big Sills as an endorser of this, too. Okay, Coolco? You go right ahead and put my name on that, too. Big Sills endorses it with you. I endorse it. Hit his agent up. He's a heck of a football player. Stephon Gilmore, former NFL Defensive Player of the Year. He can help. Especially, get this, especially in a safety position. Or corner position, excuse me. Sills, just curious, where's Bradbury now? Unemployed. I'm asking because if corner 2 stinks as bad as you say, what's wrong with plugging Bradbury in? 2023, he had 1,100 snaps. Vic likes him. He knows the system. This is just a thought. It's not horrible. Dude, get this. This guy goes like this. Bradbury's done. Well, what the fuck do you have? It's so bad, Vic. And Howie had to go find somebody. What are you talking about? You're making it sound like you have people in the building. RC3 still believes there's the corners in the building. He still believes that. Big Marshall's not wrong. He's looking for answers. You're looking for excuses, RC3. You're looking for excuses for bad football players. Those are excuses. Bradbury's done. Well, what do you have? Honestly, what do you have? Shit, Brad, get this, man. Hey, Bradbury, 2 years ago when we gave him a 3-year contract extension and paid him $11 million, he blows now. Okay, what's the alternative? Keely Ringo? Give me Bradbury. At a less price, it's no risk. Marshall's not wrong. You could probably get him for league minimum. Compared to what you have, that's not stupid. That is not stupid. and he knows the system. But Sills, do you really think he could play better than what you have? Yes. Yes, I do. Keely Ringo and these other guys out there, dude, they're looking for answers. Try to stay on page with me. Here's something Twiz is saying. Ringo's a special teams player that you're trying to make into a starter at corner 2. He's right. Well, I don't want Bradbury. He's not good. So you want a guy who's a special teams guy playing corner for you, or a guy who played corner? Well, I don't really like Bradbury. He's not good. You don't have an answer. That's not an answer. That's an excuse. Listen to this. What does that have to do with winning a gig? Vic will figure it out? No, he won't. He's telling you he's not. Bro, you're not listening to him. You are not listening to Vic Fangio. Okay, you're not. And by the way, do I think Bradbury's a great alternative? Marshall's looking. One thing I'd give Marshall here, man, he's looking for answers. Good for you, bro. Get this. Marshall had to lower his standard to go, well, fuck, what about Bradbury? He's out there. He knows what's going on. This is not another bad one. Gilmore's there. Gilmore and Bradbury are pros versus non-pros. You're looking for excuses for people that have failed in training camp. Xander said it perfectly. He said it perfectly. What was it, Xander? About a month ago? I don't want to figure this out September 1. He's right. I don't want to. Dude, this is another option. I brought this up because the Bucs want to trade him because they're deep in the secondary. And get this, folks, I got to tell you, another team that is massively injured is that Bucs team. Dude, they got Godwin out. Now they got Jalen McMillan out. And they got Tristan Wirfs heading into Atlanta. I'll tell you what, man. And on defense, they got a boatload of dudes on that other side of the field, too, that they got a shitload of injuries on that side. The Bucs are not with any momentum either. I said it, too. They're rolling into fucking that Atlanta game on September 7th. They got no momentum either. They got no momentum. Carmine, I asked Jason Light the other day on my Tampa show, what's up with Dean? We really like the player. When I hear a GM do that, they're shopping him because they think Benjamin Morrison, the kid from Notre Dame, is going to win that job. And they want to relieve some salary cap. I think he's going to get cut. If I'm Howie, I don't think that Dean will get through waivers. Down to 32. I don't think he'll get down to waivers. All right. Now, he's a veteran, so I don't know if he has to go through waivers. But I'm just telling you, man, I think that guy has a shot to getting cut. Because they're pretty deep in the second. There's a bunch of guys that are Dean's had some injuries, and it's slowed him up. He can play, though, man. He's better than anything Tampa Bay has outside of Quinyon Mitchell. Jamal Dean. I think he made the Pro Bowl a couple of years ago, and he's young. Yeah, so Bucs are injured. You should hear me on them. They're a walking mash unit. Are they waiting on live game reels with Reed and young safeties if they want reps against good offenses, maybe into the weeks of 2 and 3? I think, listen, I don't know what they're waiting on with Reed. There's no reason why they haven't given him a contract. How he gets ahead of the game, doesn't he, Matt D? I mean, he gets ahead of it. Why is he behind the sticks in this one? He's not behind the sticks. He's going to wait until March to give this guy a contract. Or here's the other one. Blankenship doesn't like the offer they gave him. My take, it's either that the Eagles came in and gave him, offered him $7 million, and he said absolutely no way, or they haven't offered him anything. It's one or the other. Do you not agree, guys? It's one or the other. Either they've offered him a contract, they offered him a Milton Williams contract, and it wasn't to their agent and his liking, or Howie hasn't offered anything at all, and they're going to wait until March, right before free agency. Do you agree? I would never pay that for that guy. Well, wait, 3 years, 28. That's like 8.5. They're probably going to say no to that, but he's right. RC3's not off on that. That's not a bad number. If I'm Reed, I'd take that. Stay in Philly. They like me. Grass isn't greener, always on the other side. I would take that. 9.5. Okay. 9.2. That's not terrible. I'd live in that room. But his agent's probably thinking like John. John's throwing 15.5 out. Fuck that. I'm not paying that for him. He's not a $15.5 million safety. When I look at that guy, Reed Blankenship, do I see $15.5 million? Fuck no. I mean, right? Hometown discount. I'm not taking hometown discounts. Hurts didn't. Why would he? Carmine, that's funny. Hey, Carmine, you know, you being Italian and me being Italian, okay? You and me laugh at that, but you know there's people in the world, Carmine and those guineas, you know? Hey, yo, Rocco, how you doing? You know, always grabbing our nuts. They think that, you know, everybody, you know, white guys think that, black guys think that, Italians are black too, you know? Hey, Rocco, how you doing? You know, so you got to be careful there, Rocco, because, you know, I'm going to start calling you Rocco, Sirocco. I'm going to call you Rocco. I know, Sue. Don't worry about it, honey. You're as white as the line on the highway in the street, so we're all good. Don't worry. Hang in there. Hang in there, sweetness. We'll be all right. Hey, Rocco, how you doing? Why do Italians always grab their goyards? It's all good. Right? Right now, Reeder's worth more than those two guys who haven't seen playing time. Okay, Reed Blankenship. I saw him in 23 with lesser guys around him, and he stunk. Sills, after last season, do you think teams are going to copycat the Birds and running? You know, I think the Eagles have caught the league with their pants down. And here's what I say to that: everybody wants the big arm passer. So let's go to what they did a year ago and how they evaluated that. Everyone wants a big arm. Everyone wants pocket passers. Everyone wants to throw the ball down the field. Wide receivers' numbers are going through the roof. Everything is set up. You're paying for corners. You're paying for wide receivers and corners. Quarterbacks, aren't those the three highest paid positions on the field right now? Wide receivers, corners, and quarterbacks, right? Are they not the highest positions? I mean, as a group, right? Are they not? They're the highest positions paid on the field, right? Cornerbacks, receivers, and get this. Sure, you want to put edge to get to the cornerbacks. Okay. All passing, right? You want to hear something that I talked to Cornelius Bennett today. Bucs are playing the Bills. Cornelius Bennett wasn't just an edge rusher. He played D tackle, linebacker, edge, all of that. And he was a 7-time Pro Bowler and a 2-time AFC Defensive Player of the Year. That guy's my brother. I love Cornelius Bennett. If you look at my Twitter page, he and I love that man. Biscuit Bennett, Alabama legend. What a fucking great man. And what a phenomenal friend. He was so great. All-decade team, 2-time AFC Defensive Player of the Year. And he said this, he goes, guys, today, they're one-dimensional. Man, you line me up and let me hit quarterbacks. That's all I had to worry about. I didn't have to drop in coverage. I'm going to kill people. He would have killed people. He still had 75 sacks. He just had to do so much. I mean, he played 14 years. Okay? That guy played 14 years in the National Football League. He's a great football player. How's he not in the Hall of Fame? I don't know. I think it's because of those 5 Super Bowl losses. I think they blame him or something. All right? Philly Don, I disagree. Can't rush the passer if the quarterback's getting the ball out within seconds. Well, that's quarterbacking who wins from the pocket. The guy's point was, Sills, don't you think people are going to start emulating what the Eagles do? They're not built that way. Why can't anybody, guys, come on. Why can't anybody do what Philadelphia does? Do you know? It's not the quarterback. It's not the running back. It's not the receivers. Why can Philadelphia do what they want to do? Why? Because of the O-line. The O-line gives you freedom. It's not the quarterback that drives that team. It's the O-line. The O-line gives you freedom to do anything you want. And get this, to inflict your will, to pass the ball, to run the ball when needed. They get to do anything they want. The Eagles' O-line gives you autonomy to be anything you want any given Sunday. The Bengals are doing what every Sunday? They're throwing the ball with limited runs. And this is why it blows my mind in Baltimore. Why do you come out of that? The Eagles show the Baltimore Ravens every year how to win football games, but Baltimore's blind to it. I would rather have Lamar Jackson in the playoffs have more rushing attempts with Derrick Henry than passing attempts. 41 passes and 2 playoff losses. You answer your own questions why you lose. I think they'd lose a lot because of coaching in Baltimore in the playoffs. I think the Eagles know. They go, our O-line. Okay, want to stop Barkley? Now we're going to throw it because of the O-line. Dude, O-line is, it allows Philadelphia to just to do whatever they feel like it. And last year's defensive line, get this, Xander's not sold on how good those players were. He's not saying that they're not bad, and I'm not putting words in his mouth here with this. But the difference with that line you had a year ago, they play multiple positions. 5, 43, 34, disguise, post-snap disguise fronts, moving players around, 7, 9, 3 techniques. You don't have that availability this year. Versatility is what wins. You can have great players on your football team, but if you don't have great units, like take a look at this. Last year's corners, Slay and Q. I don't know about you, but that had to be one of the top 5 groups at that respected position in the league, no? Gardner Johnson and Reed at safety. That had to be one of the safety combos in the entire NFL, right? Your linebacking core with Bond and with Dean had to be one of the better linebacking duos. Your offensive line, the best. Your wide receiver duos, right there. CBS just named them the best duo in the league. Your running back quarterback combo. Get this. I think I'm fair to say this. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry had better numbers than Hurts and Barkley combined. Had better numbers. I mean, they only outrushed Derrick Henry by like 100 and some yards. Okay? And the quarterback had 4,100 passing yards and 41 TDs. Yet, they don't know how to utilize it in the playoffs. The Eagles are better coached in the playoffs than the Ravens are. And it played out. Now, look, the journey's tougher in the AFC. I get it. They simplified things. Again, I mean, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry were sensational. Okay? No, they're not better coached. They had a better philosophy on, we're going to run it. Dude, turning around and handing a fucking football off is a philosophical change what you did in the bye. You won this. I said this before to you. The Eagles won the Super Bowl in the bye week. The season was over. Go back and look at that now. They were never, ever threatened. Outside of that Rams game and the Buck game, were they ever threatened? No, that's after the bye. The Bucks were after the bye or before the bye. You were never threatened. Season was over. Once they went and said, well, we're going to take our O-line and we're going to pound people into the submission, it was over. Tell you, it took until Baltimore for me to go, that team's going to win it. It looks it. That team's going to win it. I never thought Washington was a threat a year ago. I thought I picked them to win the East. They got to the NFC title game. Okay? Here, think about this. Okay? Think about what this guy's saying here. Kellen Moore didn't make Jalen Hurts a better quarterback. He made the offensive unit better by utilizing the strengths of the team. That's the facts. And you know what Hurts did? Hurts became more cerebral and understanding that. He's the only guy that would accept that, in my opinion, in the league. Lamar Jackson wouldn't accept this. How many times you see Lamar Jackson in a football game forcing shit? Hurts is not forcing anything. Brady never forced anything. Okay? He never forced anything. Brady, you know what? One of the coolest things that I learned from Brady and all the coaches down in Tampa, what they told me about Tom Brady and how his approach to the game was? Tom Brady practiced everything he did in practice that he would do in a game. He never, ever did things in practice. Well, let me try to put the football in here. Why? He wouldn't do it in the game. Let me try to throw it to this wide receiver. Why? He wouldn't do it in the game. Let me try this. Why? I wouldn't do it in the game. Brady never practiced that way. He practiced protecting the football. Why don't you practice protecting the football? That's what the Eagles did. Didn't Jalen Hurts today come out and say, or Nick Sirianni in an interview said, the number one thing we did in camp was we protected the football. That's a great camp. Not all those stupid ESP fucking stats. The first things he said was, we protected the football in training camp, and we got better and better and better at protecting the football in training camp. I mean, listening to Bruce Arians, I asked Bruce Arians, I can't tell you how many times he would tell you how Brady would practice. That guy would never do anything. I had to tell him to try to throw the ball down the field and let's get the passes going down the field. No risk it, no biscuit. Brady hated that. He absolutely hated it. He hated deep throws. He thought they were high turnover plays. I hear John McMullen saying this with Xander. Whatever happened to the deep passing game? Let me think of something. Didn't John McMullen say that? What happened to the Eagles' deep passing game? Well, you had what did the Eagles rank in turnovers a year ago? What did the Eagles rank? What was their ranking in turnovers? The least amount of turnovers. What was the number? Where did they rank in the league? In turnovers. What was the number? Okay? I mean, why? See this? This is an unintelligent football fan. You play to your weaknesses. And by the way, Jalen had get this. You know why that was a stupid comment by him? Jalen has more ability athletically than Brady will ever be. Well, why did he have 16 turnovers or 16 interceptions and 26 turnovers in 23 games from 23 to the beginning of this last year? Why? Well, because he had fucking what? Great legs and he could run? No, because he started practicing not turning the ball over. It's stupid. It's a stupid comment. Brady couldn't run. No shit. So what did he do? He compensated for it. It's something called a check down game or a screen game. Well, you do things you're not good at. Can't run? How do you get away with it? Check downs, screens, middle seams, wheel routes. I'm here to help. Okay? Admit your shitty take on Hurtsville's. Stop walking it back. I'm not walking fucking anything back. I never said the guy wasn't smart. Stop adding something to my narrative. I'm not fucking adding anything. I never said Jalen wasn't smart. He does not have the skill set of these other guys, but that doesn't mean anything. Talent doesn't win Super Bowls. I think smart quarterbacks do. Sixth and forced turnovers. I'm talking about, were the Eagles one of the least turnover teams in the offensively in the NFL last year? Were they? What was the number? What did they rank in the least amount of turnovers offensively? I'd be curious. I don't know. Sills, the longer the ball is in the air, the advantages go to the defense. Correct. That's why deep passes, in my opinion, deep passing games get teams in trouble. Windows get smaller and defenders have more time to track the ball. Get this. Come on, Sills. Talent wins games. Really? I know some of the most talented players in the history of the NFL, and we're watching them with Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Are those guys more talented than Jalen Hurts? Absolutely. How come they haven't won? Team, coaching, what have you. Those guys are more talented. Burrow's more talented. So the Eagles were 25th in giveaways at the bottom of the league. They practiced not turning the football over. I mean, I'd rather have Hurts have 6 turnovers and 20 touchdown passes than 41 TDs and 16 turnovers like Mayfield. Baker Mayfield turns the ball over too much for me. You got to get this. What are you, Brett Favre? I mean, really, Brett Favre? Right? I mean, unless it's against the Eagles. Hurts always wins. Your Eagles win. I get it. Quarterback. And I like that comment by John, actually. It becomes a stat when it becomes, no, it's true. After a while, it gets there. Okay? Absolutely. I told you he's in my top 5. What more do you want? What more do you want, Vagina? 514? I'm not sure what you want. I said he's in my top 5, Vagina. '26th. Okay. So they're 26th in giveaways. That's good. I mean, that's phenomenal. I mean, and our boy spoke too. So don't everyone remember when Jalen improvised and threw it deep to AJ? We lost. I think it's without a doubt. I think it's the check down. This is exactly how Mahomes is winning games. Right? Let's see here. Come on, Sills. I was right with you, and not sure. Hurts solved his biggest problem. He learned how to read defenses. And that's why Brady's the GOAT. He's getting better at it, reading defenses. I think Carmine, ask yourself this about Jalen Hurts' ability to play the quarterback position. Do you find it odd that for the first time in his 5 years, he was allowed to set protections when almost every quarterback who's ever played in the NFL, the number one thing they are taught when they're younger is setting pass protections. Jalen Hurts' first year setting pass protections was last year. How could he be fundamentally an elite quarterback when that was his first year understanding pass protection? This is why he's behind, and he will get better. Last year, I was talking to Steve Tasker. Josh Allen had 500 passing attempts and was sacked 14 times. Jalen Hurts threw the ball 361 times, counting the playoffs, and he was sacked 51 times. I don't know. What do you make of that number? What do you make of that number? He was sacked 51 times. Allen was sacked 14. Let that sink in. With 500 attempts. So when you say elite, now look, let me put this in proper context. I think he got better, obviously, by the end of the year and into the playoffs. I think he did get better. I did. I think he got better. Dude, he was sacked 51 times. I have this argument with Marcus Hayes. I look at sacks sometimes like turnovers. Why? Well, if you get sacked and taken out of field position where you can't kick a field goal, where you're not in scoring position, that to me is like a turnover. Can you imagine if he continues to improve on that? That's where he improved. And look, he improved in that aspect. I think they didn't want him throwing the ball because they wanted to learn and keep learning how to set pass protections. Where is the pressure coming from? So it was an educational year for him. That's why the numbers were so low. But that's why the efficiency was high. They put him in a position to succeed. Still, the number one thing that he has to work on is minus yardage. He got the NFC title game and the Super Bowl were his best games since since the 2023 Super Bowl. Seals, the number tells me that Hurts has been told, take the sack and don't force the throw. Yeah, Bob, that takes you out of field position. When you got a kicker, again, I don't know what Josh Elliott's going to be this year. I just don't know what he's going to be. I don't want my quarterback hey, Bob, I'd rather have you throw the ball away and have a lower percentage, throw the ball away, than have you take minus yardage. You know what I'm saying? Throw the ball away. Worrying about your pass percentage stats? Fuck that. I don't want to lose field position. Field position this year is going to be essential. Why? Well, because we're not sure what we're looking at on defense. Is that fair? Peyton Manning was literally on a podcast talking about how bad sacks kill a drive last week. They're turnovers, like. I can't tell you how underachieving that offense was a year ago, and you still beat people up. There is so much room for growth and being better. I mean, the Eagles have a shot to really be special. You know, I tell people this all the time. How in the world can you have the number one skill group at wideout, a top 5 quarterback, the best running back, and the best O-line, and you're 30th in passing? You don't expect more? Then you turn around and you go, we won a Super Bowl. I get it. Don't you want to live up to the expectations and to the full ability of the offense to see what that thing can really do? Shouldn't that thing be like the greatest show on turf? I mean, right? Listen, you punched people in the face like Mike Tyson a year ago, and nobody could beat you. There's no doubt about it. I totally get that. And to be candid, I'd rather be in the ring with a guy who wants to jab with me and spar with me. See, I think passing offenses is like sparring. I think run offenses, that's like a fist fight. Someone's going to get knocked out early. And nobody can handle the pressure. I told you this before. I don't see anybody on your schedule that's going to be somebody that's going to threaten that dominance at the line of scrimmage. I think every game, including Buffalo. I don't see that. But, I mean, you've got an offense that's built for dual threat success. Not limited success. Look, I'm not telling you you're bad. I'm telling you you're not living up to the expectations or what I think the capabilities of that offense are. Sills, we won a Super Bowl. I got it. I think you could be better. What's wrong with saying better? Really? You don't want to improve? I know this. The fucking Eagles want to improve. How many times I hear people say that? Some of them old linemen may get cut. Okay? Some of them offensive linemen may end up getting cut. Okay? I do. I think that. Okay? I would love to see less design runs for Hurts this year. Though, please, more quick passes to supplement instead. Jalen is on the verge of becoming injury prone. He didn't miss a game in 17, right? He missed some games in 22. And he missed the last 2 this last year because of a concussion, right? Dude, a concussion? Now, could that become something that could happen more and more? Troy Aikman, the more concussions, I'll say this to you guys, the more concussions you get, the more it becomes a problem with you. I'll tell you what I'm starting to see with Mulata. I'm seeing more concussions with him every other year. I think that's got a lot to do with his rugby play. I mean, is this like the 3rd year in a row he's been in a concussion protocol, no? I mean, I'm starting to see more of that with him. You know, when you play rugby, man, you don't wear a helmet. And he played 5 years of that professionally. I don't know. Again, Troy Aikman had to leave the game, and so did Steve Young because of concussions becoming more concurrent. Every single year, I see Mulata in concussion protocol. Those other teams copying run game, 2 running backs in the draft. Look, I think the teams that are going to run the ball a lot, I think the Bucs are going to run the ball early because of the loss of Tristan Wirfs. They've got White and they've got Bucky Irvin. I think Detroit is going to run the ball a lot with those 2 back sets. I think they're going to run the ball in Atlanta a lot. Okay? I think Chicago is going to run the ball a lot because Ben Johnson. I think San Francisco is going to run the ball more than you think. I think the Rams are going to run the ball. I'll tell you, you know who I've been wrong about so far? Have you seen that kid Genti playing for the Raiders? That fucking guy looks like a real deal, man. You know who he reminds me of? And I'm gonna say it, but I'm not gonna go there, but that guy runs like Marshawn Lynch. I mean, he's running the ball like Marshawn Lynch, man. He runs with toughness. I saw him run 3 dudes over. I was like, holy shit. I mean, he put 49er guy on his helmet. Put his helmet in his chest, and that was that. Woo! Man. We got a Birds 365 after this thing? Is that what we got? All right. Today was the last day of training camp. Oh. Let me get that list up here for old Xander Krauss here. There it is. So before we get Big Z on here, so here was the guys that were hurt again on the mass unit Eagles. You ready? Here we go. AJ, fuck it. No big deal. Don't worry about it. Hey, you know there's nothing to it. You listen to Eagle guys. Sileo's full of shit. Nothing here. Landon Dickerson. Fuck it. A knee. Sills. He's a tough guy. He'll get fucking through it. He's a nothing. Don't worry about it. Knee. All right. Okay. Mulata, concussion again? Holy shit. Not another one. Andrew Makuba. Mr. Paper Mache. This guy's made of fucking balsa wood. Holy cow. I'm going to start calling him Straw Makuba. Because, hey, there's a straw man. Here's another one. Wait. Keely Ringo. Hey, I thought it says quad. I thought more it was his feelings. Devontae Smith. That's our boy. Joshua Uchikuchi. Groin. Okay. I don't know. Xander's boy, Johnny Wilson. Knee, ankle, pick one. And then Fidel Castro. Hamstring. This guy's out too. All right. Hey, that Eagle fans fucking ain't nothing, man. I thought these guys were the healthiest team in the world. All that being said, let's bring our boy in. Big Z. Xander Krauss joins us now.
What up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
I am living large. How you doing,
I can tell you're living large. I'm living large as well, brother. Good to be on the show with you today. Always an honor to be on with the great Big Sills.
All right. Hey, man. So the last day of training camp, give me not the offseason, Xander. Give me a grade on what you think they accomplished, how well they did, the work that they put in. What did you take away from the training camp that they had for the month?
I think a collective mindset has overtaken the NovaCare complex that training camp doesn't really matter anymore. I don't really see.
Is that dangerous?
I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say it's dangerous because they've been so successful. And I think, look, I don't think it's negative from a sense of they're just saying that to say that. I think there is a reason for the reason they have that approach. You know, they don't want to get injuries. They want to keep people fresh. They know it's a long, playing to the Super Bowl sills. A lot of dudes are, got their feet kicked up in Cancun. It's a long grind. It's a long process. And I think the Eagles they might be right. I think it would be fair to say, let's see when we have more evidence, but it feels like that's kind of the mentality they've taken. I don't really have a problem with it because they've been successful, but it doesn't really feel like they care as much about training camp now as they used to, and maybe that's why you see so many of those names out. Oh, Mailata's got something minor, put him on the bench. You know what I mean? Like, don't play anybody unless they're 100% fine and they want the work. It feels like that kind of mindset has set in at the NovaCare complex, and I can't really blame them in terms of we got to go deep into the year. We got to keep people healthy, and August isn't when you win Super Bowls. It's a time to get ready, but it's a different league.
Okay. Well, don't you think that list of names that I just threw at you, doesn't injury stop momentum? I mean, do you really believe that you think there's momentum going into that Dallas Cowboy game right now when you've got guys that have been in and out of the practice squad? They've been practices. They've been in and out of the joint practices. They've been in and out of practice themselves. AJ hasn't practiced at all. I mean, don't you want momentum going into that game? It just doesn't feel to me like they have momentum going into that. Now here, I'll give them this. Look, they've been there. They've done it. They know what it takes to win. How come I just don't feel there's momentum heading into the Cowboy game on the 4th?
Well, let me ask you this, because I don't disagree with you. When that banner drops,
oh yeah,
how much momentum gets picked up when that banner drops on that Thursday night opener, and the cameras pan to Jerry Jones, who's looking on at Lincoln Financial Field, and the Eagles are reigning champions of football. Now, I'm not saying that's going to make up for everything. I'm just saying
game week.
There's momentum. I agree. It doesn't really feel like there's a lot of momentum, but let's let the wheels get started. Let's let that engine heat up a little bit before I say that. I think they're going to be just fine. Maybe they do start out a little slower because, something you brought up is just obvious is, they haven't played many reps this year. No offense. I mean, they haven't played many reps together at all, which, again, I don't think it's going to be a problem long term, but maybe they start off a little bit slow because of that. But as far as momentum, man, I'm thinking that banner drop is all they need for night number 1.
Game week will fix that, man. You get into game week and all of a sudden, you're showing up to practice and you got the Cowboys Thursday night. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. What's the biggest challenge, in your opinion, for the Eagles this year?
The biggest challenge? It's a good question. The biggest challenge is probably living up to the expectations that have not only been set by the fan base, but also inside the organization, inside the team, inside the locker room, within their own minds, within their own thoughts and everything like that. I think that's probably the toughest thing because, John always points this out. You win more than you lose in this league, no matter what. No matter who you are, you lose more than you win. At the end, at the final buzzer. Tom Brady won 7 Super Bowls. He's still at 14 or whatever, however many seasons where he didn't win the ring. So you're good. It's a tough battle. That's why I always say to people, I feel great about this team, but it's an uphill battle, man. It's a tough climb. It's a real thing. It's a real hard thing to achieve. So I think maybe that, and then outside of some of those intangible things, the defense and what challenges are they going to face on offense that differ from last year? Will they be able to run the offense the same way they did last year? I'm not sure if they will. There's a chance they can because that O-line and Saquon Barkley are so damn good. But there's also a chance that teams come in and force them to beat them different ways. How capable are they to do that on a week in, week out basis? What does that defense look like? If the defense regresses, how much more of the load does the offense have to carry? So I think those are the on the field things, but I do think some of those expectations are definitely a big hurdle to overcome.
How about this? I'm going to go a little bit off the reservation here for you. So Howie's offseason has been, I don't know, has been suspect to me. I heard John say something. Boy, they just didn't have a sense of urgency in replacing these guys because they really bought into what they did with the drafting, with the guys they think they have on the team. It's clear that it looks like right now that that's a challenge at safety, at corner, who's going to play next to Bond in the opener. It's probably going to be Trotter. You're going to maybe have you're going to have a rotation when it comes between Uche and Ojulari. I think on that side of the ball, man, you could really question what John brought up a long time ago. Look at how they went through the offseason here. They're worrying about 25, 27. They're worried about 26, 27. They're still not giving up, and I'm not saying they are. And then you just got through telling me, hey, training camp. If this guy's injured, they're going to put a guy on the IR. They're going to miss reps. They're not really going to be focused on training camp. So you're not focused on replacing people. You're not focused on training camp and getting reps. My question would be, is staying focused. That would probably think my biggest challenge because it doesn't look like there's a lot of laws this offseason for the Eagles. I'm not impressed with anything Howie did in bringing other personnel in. I'm not impressed with the fact that they've missed reps. I'm not saying that that's not a good team. I'm saying sometimes this is the stuff that Super Bowl teams go through.
Yeah.
That's just staying focused on the look. Doesn't it look like they're not the hunter anymore?
Well, but I think your point is, it's well taken by me because I think people don't understand where it's really hard to get 55 guys bought into greatness. Remember, guys, this is greatness. You get a room of 55 people together. Some people are going to want more time on the couch. Some people are going to be lazy. Some people are going to be motivated. Some people are going to have great work ethic. Some people aren't going to. Now, I'm not saying as a collective, the Eagles don't have a great work ethic and aren't bought in, but to be committed to it that long for that amount of time, multiple years in a row, is definitely a challenge. It's something that takes a lot of work, a lot of discipline, a lot of effort, a lot of time. Remember, Sells, they were focused a lot longer than other people were last year. Perfect example, Sidney Brown is playing late in the year. His brother's in fucking Cancun with his feet kicked up, drinking mojitos, sending him photos. I'm not saying that people are going to check out. I'm just saying it's a challenge. It's a real challenge. Everybody goes through periods of their life where they have to be more disciplined. I'm not saying you can't do it, but it takes more of you. It requires more of you. And to have 50 guys, and really more than that, the whole organization, the coaches, the staff, the GM, everybody bought into that level is I think, another fair challenge by you. I think that's a tough thing. It's a human element too, though, isn't it?
That's right.
Look, it's not knocking anybody. It's human nature to sometimes be like, I need a break. The Eagles don't get many breaks, man. They're a championship organization.
That's why there's so few repeats. I mean, listen, and I'm not saying that the Eagles were not going to pound Kansas City, but don't you think Kansas City ran out of focus at the end of that Super Bowl? They looked like they couldn't get out of their own way. But you know what that was a combination of? 3 years in a row of fucking going all the way through February, and all of a sudden they got to the game. Bro, it looked like they were just out of gas.
I don't disagree with you at all.
I mean, right? So,
yeah, especially with the Chiefs, especially with the Chiefs.
And by the way, I'm not saying Philly wouldn't have won.
Look, I do think we have a roster that's actually built to handle that better than most. I don't think we have a lot of immature players. I think we have a lot of dudes with really good heads on their shoulders. I think we have a focused bunch. I think we have a motivated bunch. I think we have guys that have sacrificed their personal, for the good of the team, which is a tough thing to do. No, I'm not ripping them at all. But my point is, you have a good chance with this team. That doesn't mean it's not a challenge. It doesn't mean it's not something you have to go through and you have to persevere through.
Absolutely here. Yeah. So I want to ask you, and I'm going to go through the starting lineup on the defense here, and I'm going to ask you who should be playing in these positions here, and I'm going to see if you agree or disagree with me here. Jomo's going to play. He's won that job. Davis has got that job, obviously. Carter's got that job. Nolan Smith, he's at the will. He's at the weak side, which is right. Bond, of course, I thought it was incredible the ranking they gave him at 26. They had him higher ranked than A.J. Brown.
Is that one of the highest initial rankings of any player ever?
I've never seen a guy come from nowhere fucking get into the almost top 25 players in the league.
Dude, forget the top 100. He probably wasn't on the top 300 last year.
That's right. No way. No way. Let me ask you this. If you're the Giants or the Saints, who are you? Who's more disappointed?
I heard you ask this.
Who's more disappointed, New Orleans or the Giants? My God, you'd have to think you could maybe say top 25 player.
You could maybe say New Orleans because the player was right there in their grasp and they didn't know what to do.
4 years.
What's a bigger indictment?
Oh, it's the Saints.
It is, right?
It's the Saints.
You're paying people to develop and bring that out of players, and you had a guy with all-pro level linebacking talent, and you couldn't get him on the field. Like, I know the Giants is embarrassing. It's publicly embarrassing. But they knew they had a great player.
They knew he was good.
They identified, all right, we suck basically, and we can't pay a running back yet. That's a little different than saying we're a sucky team. We could really benefit from an all-pro linebacker, but we had the guy on our roster and never even knew it.
They believed what I did when you signed him. Zach who? And then get this, the guy turns out to be almost a top 25 player in the league from no place. I've never seen a guy fly up a list like that my entire life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He
deserves it, man. He had an unbelievable year. He really did.
I tell you what, he's going to have a tough time living up to that, I think.
I think naturally. I think by way, I mean, just from how good he was, man, it's going to be hard to do that for anybody again.
Dude, if he plays at 90% of what he did, he's still first team All-Pro.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, that's how good a year he had.
I agree completely.
Okay.
Which is crazy, by the way.
I'm saying this to you at that other linebacker spot. I say Trotter has to start, and I'll tell you why. I think Trotter starts because he knows the playbook better. And I think he knows where to line up. He knows to recognize. And I think it's early. It's Trotter. Then I think it becomes Campbell because Campbell's the better player. But he just doesn't know the play, in my opinion. So I think it goes like this, Xander. I think that's a rotating thing. I think they'll rotate those two guys in that Dallas game. You agree? Trotter and Campbell?
I don't know if they'll rotate them. I mean,
they want to get Campbell on the field.
Well, I see what you're saying because they're going to want to put, they're going to want Campbell on the field in some regard. So maybe to some extent a rotation, but I don't know. It doesn't really feel like a Vic style to rotate that much, especially week one where you're
trying to leave him on the sideline.
Wow.
Oh no, or you're saying Campbell starts?
Well, let me just play devil's advocate just for your question and say, is the dude fucking ready to play or is he not? I'm wondering if that's how Vic sees it.
I'm not concerned about him in the run game. I'm concerned about him in pass coverage and getting back in drops.
Yeah, it's hard.
And get this, Xander, recognizing what they're going to throw at him because the quarterbacks are going to go right at him. They're going to test his knowledge immediately, and they're going to try to see if he knows how to do it in coverage.
He might be a damn good player, but you better believe if he's starting week one, Dak is going to go at him, just like Dak's going to go at the cornerback and the safety as well.
That's right. And it's not that they have disrespect for him. They want to know if he knows what he's seeing out there because remember, he's never played an NFL regular season down. So I think it's going to – you think they start Campbell?
I think they start Trotter.
Okay. Start Trotter. You and I
think
agree
they start Trotter.
Hunt starts as the strong side linebacker, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You think that's a slam dunk that he's starting there?
Well, I think he's the one who sat out in the preseason game. You got to think he has some sort of deference at that spot.
Right. And he played the other two.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to say yes there.
Me too. I do. All right. At safety, here's why I'm going with Makuba. I just don't trust Sidney Brown, man, in tackling in open space, especially if some of those zones are going to be open more. I know, and then I'm caught between a rock and a hard place here with this because, look, the kid looks like he gets banged up already, and I don't want to start tagging anybody until I see him more playing time with the kid. But, dude, man, I don't trust Sidney Brown in open space making a play. I just don't trust that player. So I'm going to put Makuba back there at that safety position.
Well, you trust Makuba?
To get a guy on the ground more? Yeah.
I'm worried about Makuba holding up.
That okay, right? Yeah, me too. But what do you take? What are you going to? Okay, building a defense around a guy you're not sure is healthy, versus a guy who can't get people on the ground. Pick one.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you probably go Makuba there because I think you have the bigger upside with Makuba.
Or do you rotate that position too?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if you caught John talking about this. Remember, we talked about this before. John's like, I'm wondering if he's going to, because Vic or Sidney's good in red zone situations where he doesn't have to play in space and he can play downhill.
Short yardage,
exactly. Sideline to sideline, he can make the hits and stuff like that. Where Makuba is better in space, maybe between the 20s, you play Makuba. I don't think they would do that, but I mean, think about it. Now you got rotational safeties, a rotational linebacker, defensive ends a rotational position, defensive tackles a rotational position. You're not going to get any continuity on the defense.
You're not going to have the same continuity you had a year ago.
No.
At least early. Okay? Until you figure it out. Okay, so here's the billion-dollar question. Okay, what do you do at corner here? Who are you going to start? I'll tell you who I start. Who are you starting there?
At corner?
Yeah. Corner 2.
Probably go Bennett.
Why?
Because I think you know what you have in Adoree Jackson. You know, if you put Bennett out there, you have the potential upside for him to improve in the system. You have a better speed play, a better athlete at the spot. You have a guy who probably, maybe not much, but has a little bit of untapped potential. Now, I don't know if they're going to realize it. That's a whole nother question and a whole nother topic. Who knows if he ever gets to that point? But I think he has more untapped potential, whereas Adoree Jackson we know what he is, we know who he is, we know what he's capable of, and that's not all bad, but that's, in my opinion, that's what you fall back on. You don't fall back on the potential guy. You fall back on the guy that you know what they're going to be, even if it's not good enough. And I put Jakorian out there early, try and get him as up to speed as possible, give him the opportunity to progress and develop in the system. And if he falls on his face, then you move to Adoree Jackson after week 4. And I don't think that's a hard thing. If I'm the Howie, though, I'm trading Keely Ringo. I'm not even going into the season with him on my roster. If he's nowhere near the starting spot, why even keep him around? I guess everybody says special teams. I guess keep a gunner, but I would trade him.
Okay, guys, hit the like button. We'll get to some of your super chats here. We appreciate all of you. Let me ask you something here. Would you think that Vic would ever think of this? When Dean gets healthy and he comes back, would you not want Dean, Campbell, and Bond on the field at the same time with having – and here's your 40 – and here's the forefront.
He already got asked this, but go ahead.
Smith, Carter, Davis, and Ajomo. Here's your front 7. Ajomo, Carter, Davis, Smith, and you would have Campbell, Bond, and Dean. That sounds like a fucking great group.
Dude, it sounds great until they start passing on you.
Are you suggesting that you don't think that Bond and Dean can drop in coverage? Because they did a year ago. Well,
drop in coverage, they can't do it that good.
Okay.
I mean, they're linebackers. Nobody can do it that good. Fred Warner gets beaten.
Okay. The reason why I asked you this is because, I'm trying to compensate for the safety in the corner.
I get it. But I don't know if putting that many linebackers on the field is going to compensate for those guys. You're going to have 3 linebackers on the field. I love Zach Bond. I love all of them, but I don't think they're going to be the guys that help Sidney Brown and Adoree Jackson or Jakorian Bennett in coverage. In fact, it could make them look worse.
I'm trying to come up with the corner and safety.
I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying, because I had this thought process too. And I heard Vic, they kind of asked Vic, when Dean comes back, are you going to try and have 3 linebackers in the field? He basically laughed at the reporter. So if Vic is laughing at him, then I'm assuming Vic, and nowhere in his mind would he go there. I don't disagree with you where if you're really trying to get your best 7 on the field, that's probably your best 7. But it might also expose you to the – I mean, think about Matt Stafford. Dude, he'll have a field day. Even Baker Mayfield have a field day with that dude. 3 receivers on the field and a tight end. Baker Mayfield have a field day with 3 linebackers.
I think that sounds better to me than fucking Makuba and Keeley and Bennett back in the secondary. They're going to rip that. Dude, they're going to find that. I'm trying to shrink that zone a little bit and trying to help.
You think Trotter could be a trade candidate?
I don't know what his value would be being hurt the way he is all the time.
No, Trotter hasn't been hurt.
Not Trotter. I'm sorry. I meant Dean.
Dean has no value right now. He's hurt, so he can't get traded really.
Trotter. I think there's value to him. I think he's a 5th rounder, maybe something.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
I mean player for player. I'm just.
Looking for a corner.
And I don't want to trade him. I don't want to put that out there. I'm just saying, you have an influx of linebackers. London has looked really good. You have Bond, you have Campbell, Dean when he gets healthy. Like, all I'm saying is,
so you think London maybe makes Trotter available?
I mean, think about it. What's the deepest part of the defense now?
Right now, believe it or not, in 1 year, it's been the linebackers.
It's the linebackers. I don't think they're going to do that. I'm just wondering if they are looking for anything, or they are looking to improve another spot. You got to pull a player from somewhere. Everybody thinks that they're going to pull a corner or pull somebody. A receiver, maybe, but I could also see him maybe pulling a linebacker.
Is Munden's role going to be Oren Burks?
I assume it's going to be Trotter's role.
Trotter's going to start.
Yeah, but how long is Trotter going to start? Remember, they got a first round pick.
Campbell gets up to speed.
They got that, that's like a bunny rabbit in the wild with a tiger coming behind it, running at full speed. I mean, how long until he, until he goes by him? No disrespect to Trotter, but they drafted a first rounder. They're not going to wait around.
Playing.
Yeah, they're not going to wait around. I mean, if they put Trotter out there to let Campbell get some more reps and learn a couple things and see things from the sideline to get more knowledge, fine. But I would say Trotter won't start longer than 4 weeks.
Bro, I think Munden's a better player than Trotter.
Well, that's kind of why I just said I don't think so yet, but I think Munden's got a bigger upside. And I think that's where you maybe wonder, hey, do they maybe think about moving them, if they feel good about Munden? Probably not, but I think it's worth a thought.
Last day of training camp, have you come to the conclusion how they're going to use Cooper DeJean?
No. I think Vic is waiting. I think he's waiting till
He's waiting till after Saturday.
I think he's waiting till after the reporters.
That's cutdown day.
I think he's waiting till the reporters are out of the room. And I think he's gonna mix up that secondary. I mean, the last couple of days of the secondary, he's gone to Adoree Jackson, no Keely Ringo reps, which I find odd, even if he's not winning the job.
Wow, is he out on him?
He's out.
He's out on him.
He's out on him, or he is.
No way. He's
covering up as much as he can, which I don't think he is.
No way.
I don't think Keely's shown much.
Hey, who did John say is getting the most reps out there at corner? Did he tell you? Adoree Jackson, because he knows the playbook and he feels more comfortable with him.
Well, he's a veteran player, and Jacorian's only been here for 2 weeks. 2 weeks and 2 days, I think.
Wow. How do you think Jalen's had as a summer camp?
I think all right. I mean, I think he's approached it with more confidence and more swagger, which I think is always a good thing. I mean, he admitted to that a little bit, when he got asked about winning a Super Bowl. And obviously when you reach the pinnacle, it gives you a sense of confidence because what you did worked, and you don't always know before you win that one if what you're doing is going to work. You hope it works, but when you get there, I think there is a sense of relief. And I think he's a guy that's got the perfect mindset for this position. I really do. It's my favorite part about the player. It's more so than any of what he does on the field is the way he approaches not only the game, but life and his mindset and his approach to things. So I think he's had a different approach to it this year. On the field, it doesn't sound like it's been great, but I don't think it matters. And I don't think he cares. I think he's got a different perspective on it. And, I can't say it's been great, but I'm excited to see what he's able to do this year. I think he's going to have another really good year.
Okay. So he said he had a great training camp, and he expanded on why he thought he did. You know what he said? He said something, Xander, that was so smart. He went and he goes, I got to keep figuring out what it takes to win and how I have to train my mind. Remember, he was asked today the question about how are you different from this training camp than where you were when you first had your first training camp 4 years ago as a starting quarterback. You know what he said? Finding things and learning things on how we put people in position to succeed. That's not talking about drops, coverages, setting of pass protections. That's looking at everything around you. It's a pretty cerebral way of looking at it. He's not talking. And plus, you know what he was doing? He wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about the players around him on how he sees us winning this year, or how he sees him talking like that, saying us, that he sees how we're going to win this year. He's trying to figure out what is the best approach for us to win this year. Do I have to throw more? Maybe I don't. I don't know. I think when you look at it through that lens, instead of going, did you work on the passing game? That's so micro to him.
Right.
That's how I took it. Did you take – I took it.
Yeah, I think that's and I think it's the right approach, because the way you win is going to change each year. You're going to have to win different ways. It's going to change, especially the more you win, it's going to change. So I think it's the right approach by him. And I kind of took it the same way. I think that's a good way to take it. I'm a little surprised that's how you took it, Sills.
No, I did, because he wasn't talking about micro things like pass protection, running the ball, doing any of that. He was talking about the players around him. And I think that's always – he sounded like Brady talking like that a little bit. All right, Xander, I waited for this time of the program. Are you ready?
Uh-oh.
Okay. This is now August 20th. This is the final installment of my playoff predictions on who I think makes it to the National Football League postseason. Who wins their division and who ends up being the wild card teams. I pontificated a lot last night on this, sitting on the John, and this is what I came up with. I'm going to start in the AFC first. Keep you guys waiting there. The number 1 seed in the AFC will be the Buffalo Bills.
I think I agree.
The number 2 seed will be the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
Number 3, I've changed my opinion. This is the last installment. I got the Chiefs at 3.
Holy shit.
Yep.
You didn't last very long off them.
Because I've been talking to too many folks in Kansas City, and Mahomes looks stupid good, they said. He just looks like he's ready and he's focused, and they're going, are you really going to fuck?
I wasn't out on them.
I know you weren't. I was. You
and John kind of were both, but John held off and said, until they lose after 9 straight years, I'm going to keep picking them.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking go back. I'm going Kansas City in a 3-hole. You know what I got in a 4-hole? I got the Houston Texans.
All right, I think that's a good one. Houston Texans are a good team.
I got Bills, Ravens, Chiefs, and Texans as your top 4.
I think this is probably the biggest year for Stroud. He's got to have a big year. You got everything around you. You got to have a big year.
And they improved the defense.
Yeah, a lot. They improved the defense a lot. Now, they've had some injuries, but they're in good shape still.
5, 6, and 7 go down like this. I got Broncos 5. I've got Chargers 6. And I got Bengals 7.
Okay, so you still got the Chargers making it.
Yep. Here's my 7 teams. Bills, Ravens, Chiefs, Texans, 4. Those are your top 4 seeds. Division winners. I got Broncos, Chargers, and Bengals.
Broncos, Chargers, Bengals. Yeah, I think that's good.
Now we go.
You better not mess this up, dude. You've been way off on your NFC takes.
NFC, baby.
But you got a chance to correct it right now.
No.
Because your NFC takes were really bad.
I'll tell you what, my offseason so far is getting fucking grand slams right now.
I don't know. I would maybe think about stepping in here and
no. Yeah, this is the final big sales prediction.
Everybody remember this segment. This is going to be a segment we remember.
I got my book over here.
Oh, good.
Number 1 seed in the NFC will be the Los Angeles Rams will be the number 1 seed.
Bullshit.
The number 2 seed will be the Washington Commanders.
This is bad. I feel bad for you.
Number 3 will be the Green Bay Packers. And number 4 will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Only one I agree with is the Bucs at 4 because they're obviously going to win their division. You got
Rams
the Packers winning the North. You have shitty Jordan Love winning the North.
You see fucking Deebo Samuel running.
Why do you have the Packers winning the North? We'll get to the East. Why do you have the Packers winning the North?
Because I think the Lions are making massive steps backwards.
And you believe in Jordan Love. I believe in J.J. McCarthy more than that.
I think the Lions are I think that entire division's making steps back.
And you got the Packers coming out of it.
Yeah, I do. Because you know why?
There's a better chance the Bears win that division.
Yes. Hold on. No, here.
That is some bullshit.
5, 6, and 7 now. At number 5, from the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles. At number 6, the Detroit Lions. At number 7, the San Francisco 49ers. And why? They play the worst schedule in the league.
I think the Niners have a chance to make it. I don't hate that.
I got the Bears down there, like kind of sniffing around that San Francisco pick down there, though, too. All
right, I'll give you mine. I mean, yours is pretty shitty, but it's not
fucking spectacular.
There's a couple that are wrong.
By the way, they're called bold predictions, folks. Remember.
I don't know if that's a bold prediction. I just think it's a stupid prediction.
Okay, good. There you go, kid.
Bold would be the put the Bears in the playoffs.
The bold prediction is your defense will not be that good this year.
All right, and my bold prediction is that Jordan Love blows and is not going to win the North.
Okay. Well, my bold prediction will be the Commanders are going to step up and play better than what you think.
Jordan Love flat out blows.
Deebo going nuts.
Dude, he had like one wheel
round. Did you see Deebo moving around the way he did, man?
I think Darius
By the
Cooper's
way,
better than Deebo.
He's like an eagle killer, too.
Darius Cooper is better than Deebo.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm very proud of that kid, though.
First seed in the NFC is going to be the Eagles. Second seed in the NFC is going to be I'd put the Rams there. I got no problem with you saying they're going to have a great year. Third seed in the NFC, I'm going to put the Bucs because I think they're going to win a lot of games this year. And then I'm going to put the Lions, and then in my wild cards, I'm going to put Commanders 5. So yes, I'm already revoking my Dallas prediction. I don't think Dallas is going to beat out the Commanders for second in the East.
No.
Then I'd probably go. I'd probably go 6 and 7.
Lions.
Lions are going to be Lions are at 4 for me.
Oh, Lions are at 4. Okay.
Lions are at 4, winning the North for me.
Okay.
And then I'm debating on who to put in from the North and who to put in from. I don't think anybody in the South makes it. Who's in the West that I'm leaving out? The Niners? Yeah, the Niners will probably make it. So give me the Niners at 6, the Bears squeak in at 7, and the Commanders are 5. That is a little bit more bold. I'm going a little out on a limb there.
Okay. Oh my God, this is going to be so. Who do you got in the AFC?
AFC, I thought you were pretty close. I think the Chiefs are going to be a little higher than you had them.
I got them 3.
I'm going to put the Ravens at 1.
Okay.
I think the Ravens are going to have the best record in the AFC this year.
Even though the Bills are in that AFC East?
I'm going to put the –
Remember, dude, the Ravens are in a tougher division in that North.
Yeah, the AFC East is tragic.
Right. I mean, they're probably going to sweep that. That's the only reason I put
All right, give me I'm doing this off the top of my head, everybody.
I got it.
Bear with me. I feel like the Ravens have the best roster, but I want to put the Chiefs at second.
I think they're better.
Who else is in that AFC North? The Steelers.
You got Bengals, Browns, Steelers, and
Browns aren't going to be much of a contender. The Steelers can win some ball games. That's the scary part about them.
You bet. They're going to win 9 anyway, with or without Aaron Rodgers.
Right. Right. All right, I'm going to go.
Here's mine. Bills, Ravens, Chiefs, Texans, Broncos, Chargers, and Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to go Bills, Chiefs.
Wow. 2.
Ravens.
Okay.
No, Bills. Yeah, Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, Texans. I think Texans are definitely going to win the South.
Yeah.
And then probably going to go.
5, 6, and 7. I got Broncos.
Wait a second. Hear me out. You think the Steelers have a chance to make it over the Bengals?
Oh, I do.
I don't think the Bengals have cleaned up that defense enough, dude.
No. Here's what I look. You can make the call between Bengals and Steelers, and who's a more complete team. You could say probably Pittsburgh's a more complete team, but you're looking at that offensive side of the football with the Bengals. They're superior to the Steelers.
Is 3 teams from the West making it crazy?
No.
I think the Broncos and the Chargers both have a good chance to make
I got 3
playoffs.
teams. I got 3 teams from the West.
Okay, you got all 3 of them?
Yeah.
So I'd probably go Chargers 5, Broncos 6, I guess, and then I would probably go either Bengals or Steelers. Probably.
I like it. I like that. I'll tell you what, that game 5, don't you think that game 5 has, we're going to sleep on them first 4 games for the Eagles. That Bronco game, man, I don't know if they have
a solid team. And is that in Mile High?
No, I think that's at your place.
Okay. That helps.
But I'm you bet, because that is the thing.
Yeah. I'm not worried. I'm not that worried about that game. Remember, I'm a Bama guy. I went to Bama. It's tough for me to buy into Bo Nix. It is. It's just tough. I think he's done a really nice job. It's just tough for me to sit here and say that's going to be a tough one.
Bro, I've never seen a guy spend 4 years at Auburn and then another 2
I just didn't like him. I didn't like him. Although
he's like 30 years old, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how old he is. He's done good, though. I got to give him credit. I'll give him credit for that.
He has. Hey, bro.
I put the Chargers in, Kim. I did put the Chargers in.
Are you concerned all about, once again, I'll ask you for a second day, A.J. Brown? Huh?
I don't know.
What did John say about A.J. Brown?
Well, John started on Sunday. I told you this, and he comes into me and he's like, "Oh, maybe something's worse about A.J." And then Monday comes, John's back at the NovaCare, and John's acting like I'm insane for asking about A.J. Brown. He's like, "I told you this. I don't know why you Philly fans. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. I told you A.J. Brown is fine." I'm like, John, you said it to me on Sunday. What are you talking about?
And they made a trade for a receiver.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. John, they must have sent out the PR campaign from the NovaCare complex that AJ Brown is fine and he's going to be fine. So nobody act like there's a problem there. So they're all saying the same thing. Go read every reporter about AJ Brown. Everyone. Yeah. Everyone. That's
talking. It's like talking points.
Everyone that's there saying exactly. AJ Brown, there's no concern. He'll be good to go.
Yeah.
It's a caution thing. Okay, that's a long time of caution. But I think they're honestly, I do think AJ's probably fine. I'm joking about the talking points, but I think AJ's probably fine.
Couple last ones here for you, then we'll get to some super chats here. Guys, we appreciate you. Please hit the like button here. Hey, man, congratulations. You got a really great take, man. Really great take. No, you have very few this one so far, but this one
I have a lot of them.
You got a grand slam one here, man. Darius Cooper, congratulations, man. I'll tell you what. Let's put this in perspective here. This guy wasn't invited to the combines. They didn't even invite him to the combines. Wait a minute. Think about this. You didn't get invited to the combines, and you make the Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champions. You're not making the Jets. Bro, you're not making the fucking Jets.
Well, why do you think you made it?
Because they found somebody that they like and the quarterback likes. You heard the quarterback talking about him. He goes like this, he's really smart. He's really patient. He's got a great demeanor about himself. And he goes like this. His hands are stronger than anything I've seen. You throw him a football, he's grabbing it. I think Jalen really likes him, man.
I do too. Jalen seems to throw to him a lot in practice, which is interesting. So I like Darius Cooper. I do think it gets complicated now that they've traded for John Mechie, unless there's another receiver going out. Are they trading?
Mechie's making the team.
Huh?
Mechie's making the team.
Mechie's got. I agree. So where does that leave room for Darius?
Oh, he's making it, dog.
Well, how many receivers are they going to keep?
Yeah, but well, they may keep 7 now because of the injury or whatever
to Johnny Wilson. Or,
what?
Yeah, well, Johnny Wilson too. I don't know. Was he back today? I didn't see.
No, he was on the injured list. That long, lengthy injured list that he was on. Oh, yeah, that's right. They don't give a shit about exhibition season.
Well, anymore. I mean, seriously, do you think that's acting like the fucking long list of rested players in training camp is going to stop the team from winning?
No, I'm just telling you.
I mean, if you had a couple torn ACLs and some people out for the season, I would say, hey, man, Sale's got a point here.
No,
but it's a bunch of bullshit.
Saying he got a lot of guys injured on the injury list. That's all. Hey, I'm only reporting what I see. That's all I'm doing here.
That's all you're doing, right?
I'm just talking about all the guys that are injured in here, man. All right. Yeah. So let's get to the Super Bowl.
I wasn't at the computer today, so I didn't get a chance to share it.
How was your circuit breaker doing or whatever the hell it was?
It's good, man. They replaced all the knob and tube. I was telling people this house was built in like in 1800s.
Gee, so what? Ben Franklin put the circuit breaker in?
Yeah, basically. It's basically how it went. So, yeah, the Anzalone Electric was over here. Yeah. But a bunch come out and they want you to pick one basically, and they try and sell themselves to you. And I called and I'm like, hey, pick the Paisano. All right, the Anzalone guy knew what he was doing. All right, so he came in and they did it. Good job, Chef.
The fucking Anzalone guy. Hey, so like you're still feeling good about your Super Bowl prediction with the Eagles repeating?
Well, I feel like they got a really good chance to repeat. Does that mean they're gonna? No. I mean, they have a lot that needs to go their way, as every Super Bowl team does. But I think they're right there, man. I think they got everything they need. I think their defense is probably. It's a little spottier at this point, to be honest with everybody, than I was hoping to feel right now. But I don't feel like it's going to stop them. I think it's just going to be a bigger hurdle to overcome.
Spotty. I like that word.
It is spotty. You got good players here. You got bad players here.
No, we don't know if they're bad yet.
Yeah, I'm in Cape May, dude. I'm at the Cape May house.
How about this? Look, rotating at – you tell me how this sounds. Rotating at corner, rotating at safety, rotating at edge, and rotating at linebacker. Spotty is a fair comment. Man, is this going to be a ton of fun.
Well, what do you think? I don't even think you believe you're the own horse shit you're selling me that this team stinks.
No, I didn't say they stink. I didn't say that.
You know what it is. Taste your own medicine, big guy. All right.
Hey, I didn't say they stunk. I just think, like you said,
it's a taste of your own medicine.
I got a feeling that this is going to be a little bumpy. You're going to win games this year that you're supposed to win, but you're also going to lose some games that you weren't supposed to lose.
Well, what games are we supposed to lose? I don't
know. We're going to see what that defense does.
I think we win 13 ball games this year.
Okay,
12, 13 games
with a dude, you got more guys rotating than the Phillies pitching staff on your defense, man. I mean, shit, that looks like the Phillies bullpen.
I mean, dude, you seriously, you picked did you honestly believe? Wait, do you honestly believe it when you say the Commanders are going to win the East?
I do.
In your heart of hearts, if I put a polygraph on you
and
said who's winning the East, you would really say the Commanders?
Yeah, because they got a lesser schedule to play than you. I think that they kept out. Yeah, they do. They didn't win the division. Division winners have a tougher schedule.
I know that, but the league changes a lot every year.
And they really didn't lose anybody.
I really don't think you believe that.
I do.
I know you, big silly. I know
you lost too many guys that are good.
I don't think you really believe.
Bro, they added to their team.
I want you to be honest, big sills.
All right.
I want you to stand on business.
Dear Father Xander, I'm going to tell you flat out, dear Father, bless me for I have not sinned. I am telling you flat out that I believe that the Washington Commanders with that fucking quarterback, by the way, if he comes close to anything like he looked like last year, that guy will be the 5th dude in the building as the 5th most complete quarterback in the league. Don't let him put another season like that again together, because if he does, bro, he's going to be in a conversation. There's going to be 5 elite guys in this league. That guy has a game anywhere near that.
I don't see it. Sorry, I just don't.
Oh, you just think that was some sort of RG3 year, right? Like RG3
no, I didn't say
that rookie season.
I think he's a really good
had a
player.
rookie of the year.
I think he's a really good player. I'm not saying I don't think he's a good player. I don't see what you just said, that he's one of the big 5.
Well, I don't see the no-holes defense.
I have not called them that in quite a bit.
Xander, the only reason that I don't think the Eagles are going to repeat is because of the defense, not because of the offense.
Yeah, but that means the offense has to do more this year.
Okay. Right. I get it and I understand that. And I just don't – I'm just not buying into that yet.
I'm a little confused, like, because normally I think I have a sense of – even if I don't agree with certain takes, I understand where people are coming from. For example, I might have problems with Lamar Jackson, but I understand when people are like, this guy's a historic talent. Yeah. I mean, look at him. And I'm like, all right, I get it. Even if I don't agree fully, I get what you're saying. I'm a little surprised by how unison the collective national media is about Jaden Daniels. And look, I'm not saying he's not a good player. I think he's a really good player. I don't really see one-of-one talent. Like, I don't see it. I think he's a good player. I don't see one-of-one talent.
Yeah, I do. He elevated a trash can last year to the NFC Championship.
Well, he did elevate a trash can. I
mean, the offensive line was
there's a lot of context to that season, man. They had a lot of wins by the skin of their teeth.
Offensive line was ranked 30th. I mean, they had one receiver in the room. I couldn't name you another.
Look, if I'm wrong, I'll eat my words. If I'm wrong, if this kid's as good as he is, as advertised, I'll eat it, and I'll say,
what do you think of them getting rid of Robinson?
Who?
The running back in trying to move off of him.
Brian Robinson? Are they getting rid of him?
Yeah, they're actively trading him. I'd actually like him in Philly.
Okay, there's some uncertainty. Yeah, I see this.
I thought he was a good player. He's a Bama guy, right?
He's a very good player, but I don't really know what they're doing. Like, I want you to seriously explain to me where you think they got better, because I don't think they got better.
I got better in the O-line.
They got better in the O-line. All right, they did get better in the O-line. They did. They drafted that Connerly kid. They brought in Tunsil. He's old.
And here's something else. I think they got better in continuity. You know why? You bring your same coaching staff back. You know, hey, one thing that they got better at than what Hurts did, you know what it was? They kept the same coordinator in the building. Hurts has got another coordinator now that they have to go through terminology and all that other bullshit.
Hurts had another new coordinator last year and won the damn Super Bowl.
And Hurts had a coordinator a year before that, and they fell on their face.
That's true. It's true. Okay, you got to add in all context if you're going to include.
That's right. That's correct. And so you're bringing, and plus you got 2 head coaches in the building. I'm doing. But again, Jalen has been able to overcome that now because of all the changes.
No, dude, I don't care what you say about Nick Sirianni. I'll take him over Dan Quinn every effing day of the week. Every day of the week. I'm not taking Dan Quinn over Nick Sirianni.
Dan Quinn took a football team in his first year to the NFC Championship.
Dude, I don't give a shit what he did.
The head football
right now that I'm not taking that
for
guy.
An organization that hadn't done shit in 25 years. And by the way, proper context with him too, defensively, that guy constructed the defense in Seattle that won a Super Bowl. He was the coordinator in Seattle that put that team together with Gus Bradley, and they won a Super Bowl.
Look at Rich. What about in a fight? Yeah, I think I'll take Quinn in a fight over.
I don't know, man. Nick looks like a little scrappy dude, man.
Yeah, he is. He's a scrappy.
He's a scrappy kid here, man. Let's read some of these supers, bro.
Nick is actually taller than people think too.
Is he over 6 feet?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's like 6'2" or 6'3". Josh says, Sills, how is Shiloh doing in Tampa Bay?
Practice squad guy or UFL guy? I mean, yeah, hey, listen, man, he's a good kid. There's a lot of people that really like him. There's a lot of people rooting for him. But they're deep there. I'll tell you something. I wouldn't mind seeing the Eagles put him on their practice squad. And he's not a bad football player.
No, I don't think he is either.
They're just really deep there. Look, if they're getting rid of and trying to trade Dean, Jamel Dean. I mean, Shadow's got no shot of making that roster. Now, I'll tell you this, Todd likes him. I know this. I'm getting hey, by the way, folks, just so you know, Nelson, the public relations guy, the week of the Buccaneer game, we will have Todd Bowles on this channel.
Wow,
here.
that's fire.
Yeah, so we're gonna have Todd Bowles on.
That's really fire.
Yeah, the Bucs are really gonna. We may even get Mike Evans on this show.
Ooh, that would be sick.
So we're really working.
Yeah, Dan Quinn had beginner's luck, and he's not going to have another good year.
So it was beginner's luck when he put that defense together in Seattle.
I didn't say that.
Okay, well, he put a defense.
Twisting my words.
He put a defense together in Washington too. That
guy had the perfect formula.
won 13
he won how many games on this by the skin of his teeth? He had a rookie quarterback who way outperformed.
Dude, a rookie quarterback. Listen to what you're saying. A rookie quarterback with a 30th ranked O-line, and they won 13 games.
Yeah, luck.
Okay. That doesn't sound like a shitty year, dude.
I didn't say it was a shitty year. I said it was a lucky year.
All
Dan Quinn's not that good. Kimberly says, all these guys getting homeschooled, graduating high school too early, skipping steps in reps and processing ability, skipping steps on the cognitive side. Interesting take, Kimberly. Is that a phenomenon? Homeschooling?
Hey, wait. Tebow was homeschooled. Tim Tebow was homeschooled. There are a lot of people that were homeschooled. Okay, but I don't. Dude, what do I know about homeschool? Fucking.
I don't know. I'm asking if Kimberly's onto something where they're recruiting people earlier because of NIL.
Oh,
they're bringing
okay.
people to college earlier.
I see.
They're not actually going through the necessary steps of development, not only as a football player but as a human being.
That's actually a fucking big take.
I wonder if that's a thing. I don't know about the homeschooling element of it, but I am wondering about. You remember, if 5-star recruits are in high school, they leave high school early. That's true.
Kimberly, you know what? Your boy Bryce Harper, he left high school, then he got his GED, and he enrolled, Xander, if I'm not wrong, he enrolled in a junior college when he was 17 so he could get drafted the following year. So that's kind of what she's talking about. Yeah. You graduate early, you get into that's not a bad take. I hadn't thought of it in that realm.
No, it's not a bad take at all. I wonder if there's more truth to it and people are looking into it, Kimberly. Christopher Michael, what's up, Christopher? He says, I know we got questions about the D and for good reasons, but the bigger issue may be the O-line depth. Letting Becton walk looks worse and worse. I actually agree with this.
Yeah.
I actually agree. I haven't been impressed with the backup O-lineman at all. Now, I think Tyler Steen, actually, Christopher, I've been impressed with him just in the very small sample size of the preseason. We'll see how he fares in the regular season, but that backup O-line still don't look too good.
John's really high on that O-line, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Maybe a little too high.
Because I saw the Browns kick the shit out of them. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Who by the way, who's going to be the swing tackle?
I guess probably Kendall Lamb.
Okay. And so they're going to stick with that if the center goes down, Landon goes back over there.
Landon probably goes center. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do.
That doesn't sound like a lot of depth like they had a year ago.
I don't know. It's weird because some guys can't. Like I think it's Pryor who can only play the right side. It's like I don't know. They got issues with that, but we'll see.
Bro, doesn't it seem that this team doesn't look like it has a lot of depth?
Well, is that everybody though? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, a year ago, they had a fucking ton of
Why is preseason football the ugliest football on planet Earth? Sometimes it's uglier than the UFL, for crying out loud.
You know what?
I feel like every team just doesn't have a lot of depth. The gap between the starting NFL football players and the second and third teams is astronomical.
Yeah, but it didn't feel that way last year with the Eagles. It just didn't feel that way. Our biggest concern.
Well, I mean, dude, with Oren Burks, Isaiah Rodgers,
right?
You had Oren Burks, Isaiah Rodgers, Joe. Yeah, they had depth last year. You're right. They did, man.
It just didn't seem the same.
Like who's playing more Jomo's role than what he was last year? Fourth defensive tackle. They just traded him.
Jomo was behind Milton. Now you got Ty Robinson. Hey, did you hear him today? I'll tell you something about him that
I didn't hear him today. No.
Okay. I really like him and I like his honesty, but don't be this honest. This is what he said. He goes, it's a lesson every time I get out there. And he goes, man, I'll tell you what, going from this level to that level, I mean, every single day, it's just I'm overmatched sometimes and I'm overwhelmed by some of the things.
Well, I think it's good awareness, but I would shut the fuck up.
Just be quiet, dude. That's how you lose your job. Okay?
Yeah, dude, shut up.
Hey, I don't know what I'm doing. It's overwhelming.
Coaches tell you that shit, dude.
Yeah. I mean, hey, let me get in front of a mic going, hey, I'm overwhelmed and fucking
the guys telling Vic Fangio, Vic, I got no clue where to be.
Dude, right. I don't know. It's a learning lesson. They get their hands on me and they shake the change out of me. I don't know.
Good awareness, though. It's good awareness.
I listen to at least he's being honest. I get it, but I'm with Yale. Don't do that shit in public. Go talk to
I think it was a mistake trading Thomas.
It is. It is.
Jay Cred says, why do talking heads keep saying Philly can't run the ball this year? They're smoking. Saquon will flirt with 2K again with the best O-line in the NFL.
Yeah, they're smoking. Anybody that thinks, by the way, thank you for the super chat. If anybody thinks that Philadelphia Eagle team is not going to be in the top 5, with everything going well, they'll be in the top 3 when it comes to running the ball, you're high. I mean, do you know the offensive line? I said it earlier. Do you know why you could do so many things? It's because your O-line gives you latitude. Your O-line allows you to do anything you want in a football game. You realize that, right? You could do anything you want, Xander. You could be anything you want. You could. Right. It's because of the O-line. You can do anything you want in that game. Thank you, bro. Appreciate the super here.
Thanks, Jay Cred. Appreciate it, dog. Kimberly checked in again. These other teams copying the run game, 2 running backs in the draft. They're definitely going to start to copy it.
Well, this is another.
The problem is they're not built to play like it.
Well, look at the positions they're spending money at, Xander. Corner, linebackers, quarterbacks, and receivers, right? They're not paying running backs. I actually think you made this point a year ago. Do you think that teams are now starting to go back to this now? Well, guess what? I think the Eagles caught the league with their pants down. Everybody's wanting a pocket passer, wide receivers, corners, edge rushers. Well, what about running the ball down your throat? The Eagles run the ball down people's throat, and there's not really anybody could stop it. All right, I think we got them all. No?
No, wait. One more. Kyle says, one common thing about Quinn defense is they're bad at stopping the run.
You thought Seattle's defense was bad at stopping the ball? I think the personnel in Washington has been awful.
Dude, why are you stuck on what he did in Seattle, though? Like, all right, it's cool, but it's a resume thing. It's not where he is right now.
He's only been there one fucking year.
I know, but dude, I don't fucking use what Vic Fangio did fucking 10 years ago to credit him. I look at what he did last year.
Aren't his players?
I'm just saying, I don't think Dan
You're
Quinn
making it sound like you walked into it.
I just don't think he deserves every benefit of the doubt because he was the defensive coordinator for Seattle 10 years ago.
With non-first round draft choices. Name me a first rounder.
You keep bringing up Seattle, though.
Right.
Every time I brought his name up, you brought up Seattle.
Right, because he built that defense with Gus Bradley.
All right, this isn't fucking Seattle anymore.
Right. He's only been there 1 year. Those aren't his players.
And you think Javon Kinlaw?
You really think?
You think Javon Kinlaw gets him closer to that defense?
Hold on. Washington has been drafting poorly. They've been collecting bad players for 25 years. He gets there for 8 months and takes them to the NFC title game with dog shit. Give him a chance to get his people in the building. Dude, I mean, fuck, really? He did more one year.
If you had this mentality on Nick Sirianni, you'd have him in pain.
Okay, wait a minute. Nick didn't get to the NFC title game in his first year. That's his first year.
He got to the bowl in his second year.
Okay.
Remember, when Nick was hired, we were a 4-win football team, dude.
Okay. You weren't a bad organization. You guys.
We were a bad team, though, man.
You were a bad team. You weren't a bad organization.
Dude, we were throwing a Rager and Fulgham that year. Okay. That was brutal.
Listen, hey, you're right. If Dan Quinn
Greg Ward.
Listen, if Dan Quinn falls on his face this year, slam him. All right. I remind people, you guys were trying to.
All I'm saying,
you guys were trying to fire Nick after. People were trying to fire Nick after 4 fucking games last year.
All right, good. Use that against us. I don't give a shit. All I'm saying is I'm not ready to say Dan Quinn's a great coach because of Seattle.
Okay. Well, at least he's got something on his resume that
Wait,
I
didn't
can
he
read.
also oversee the defense that gave up the biggest lead in Super Bowl history?
Yeah, he
Oh,
was.
good.
But
So
he
he's a
got
choke artist, too.
that's right.
Add that to the rep. Add that to the list,
I
folks. He's a
did.
fucking choke artist.
I did add that to the record. And his fucking ring. Yeah,
Is it
I
another
did.
regular season warrior?
Dude,
Remember,
and
we scored in
got
the
a
first
fucking
play
ring.
from scrimmage last year.
He owns a ring. Regular season warrior? No. He owns a ring.
And he also shit the bed on one of the biggest leads in Super Bowl history.
And what did he do to Peyton Manning in that Super Bowl with Seattle? They scored 3 fucking points. I mean, yeah. And he built a team with no first-round draft choices. None. Found Cam Chancellor in the 4th round. Found Richard Sherman in the 3rd round. Found Michael Bennett on the fucking scrap.
Was this all Dan Quinn? I mean, you're acting like Dan Quinn built the thing from the ground up.
These are facts.
Pete Carroll built that whole fucking team.
Okay. Well, what did Carroll do after Quinn left? Totally shit the bed. What's he done?
Fair.
Okay.
That's fair. But I don't think Dan Quinn was in the room dictating all the draft picks.
I gotta tell you, I can't wait for this fucking year, man. How many days are we out now? 15 days until the start of the season. Where we are?
15 days.
15 days.
15 motherfucking days.
I still got the Eagles killing that team on the opener.
Do you?
You want to hear it now? I'll give it to you.
You already
37-14, man. They're going to beat the piss out of that.
You got this. Wait a second. You got the no-holes defense showing up in week 1.
Yeah, I got the nothing offense of the fucking the Cowboys.
No. You got the no-holes defense. They got CeeDee Lamb. They got Dak Prescott. They got George Pickens. You can't give them that much excuses. If you give up 14 to the Cowboys, that's a good defensive output.
Against that team, that won't win 6 games.
Dude, they don't have nobody. Don't give them that fucking excuse.
Okay. You're right. Hey, Cowboys. The Eagle season starts in Kansas City, bitch. Okay? In Kansas City. It starts at Arrowhead. That's where it starts. It don't start
Billy
with
Johnson. Big Sill's got another 10 years left, right? I think so, Billy John. I think he's got 20 left.
Yeah. Don't be worried about Big Sill, man.
You know what they say. You know, when men hang them up, man, it's no good after that. They go to die. All right?
That's right.
Fucking, I ain't hanging them up ever for me.
I ain't hanging shit up, bitches. I'm not going anywhere. Big Sills is rocking this thing. Big Z, man, you got a big show lined up. Today was the last day of training camp, right?
Last day of freaking training camp. We'll recap it all. We'll recap the day. We'll get the biggest themes from camp, as you just asked me, and we'll figure out where is this team live right now. I mean, I have one question for the chat before I leave today. What is and please be honest, don't just give me a crock of shit because you wear an Eagles hat. That's fine. Be truthful with yourself and with me as a man. What are your feelings on this team going in? Is this another Super Bowl team? Are we walking into another special season, or do you think we have too much to overcome? Let's all admit we have things to overcome. Every team has things to overcome. Do we have it? What do you guys feel? I want to honestly know.
I will tell you this. I think look, are the Rams better than you? I don't know. No, I'll say no. I'll go no because you've proven it. The Commanders, the Lions, the Eagles. If you drop those names into a hat and the Bucks, if you drop those 5 names into a hat and you pick 2 for the NFC title game, because of the war of attrition, because of the losses, I think you could pick any 2 teams. How about this? Let me ask you this. These 5 teams versus the field of the NFC, do you think those 2 teams will come out of the play in the NFC title will come out of Rams, Commanders, Lions, Eagles, and Bucks versus the NFC field? Will you take the field or these 5 teams? Do you think 2 teams are going to come out of these 5?
I think 2 come out of those 5.
Me too. Okay. And get this. I think the only reason that the Eagles are close is because of the preparation they made for 26 and 27. I'm going to tell these guys this. And I told you this before the show. I think Philadelphia is going to win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years. I just don't know what year that. Get this, folks. I just don't know what year that is.
I think that's a fair take.
You know, I mean, right, Xander? Next 3 years, the chances of the Philadelphia Eagles winning a Super Bowl.
It does feel like organizationally we're built to go back.
Yeah.
My question would be this year. You know,
or how about what year? Right. What year are you gonna go back to the game?
Let's go to some of the comments from what I asked. All right. Yale says he feels good. Billy John says Super Bowl. Brian says, I'm not impressed. Prince says 15-2. Prince, you just take yourself out of the conversation with stupid comments.
Yeah.
M. Reyes says, stop being fickle and be a fan. M. Reyes, don't tell me what to do. Jay says, too much to overcome. Ethan says, 13 W's. Josh B says, I think we have too much to overcome.
Okay.
Eduardo says, special season. Max says, I don't think we repeat, but always hopeful. I think that's fair, Mac. I think that's a fair, honest.
That's a good fan. That's a nice, honest fan comment.
Yep. Jay says, our defense dominated in the Super Bowl, and we got rid of half of them. Sounds like he's been listening to the National Football Show.
How you doing?
William says, repeating as Super Bowl champs, book it.
Book it.
Slagger says, the Rams are one big hit from Garoppolo running. You might be right, man. Stafford's back's a little concerning.
He is walking around like he's an old lady. No doubt about it. We got a super chat here.
Here we go. Jeff Bone says, to be fair, we was asking the same questions last preseason. Xander, you're right. Shit happens regardless. I agree, Bonehead. I agree. Look, there's always the opportunity for them to go and do it. The question is, Bonehead, how big is the mountain you have to climb, and how good are the warriors that you have with you climbing that mountain? You know, a lot of them have changed. We got a lot of different guys this year. I don't question the core. I don't question what the unit does, but you're only as good as your weakest link. How weak will that link be this year? WP says, any word or thoughts on fullback Ben Van Sumeren?
What's happening with him?
John says he's going to make the team, so I think he's going to make the team, but we'll see.
You know, it's funny. He's going to make the team, but I haven't seen him.
I don't know. Dude, he's kind of one of those names, like WP. I don't know what you think about the guy. I kind of like the player, but I'll say this, dude. I've had like 3 years now where I've heard all about fucking Ben Van Sumeren, and 3 straight years he hasn't done jock shit. So I don't really care whether he's here or whether he's not, because I don't think he makes a difference. All right. But hey, maybe they'll keep him.
Have they even practiced being in a fullback set?
I haven't heard much about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a fullback set here. All right, Big Z, listen, you covered for me, man. By the way, Mr. Merrill Reese said that he got held up and he will be with us tomorrow. So we will talk to the legend himself. He's got another surprise for me.
Uh-oh.
Jalen gave him something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That won't call fire, that last one.
It did.
Look at Prince. This guy, Prince is sometimes such a little cesspot. 15-2. I'm sorry, I'm not a crybaby like Xander. We just yeah, we are built different, Prince. I'm a fucking realist. You fucking live in fairy tale land like the honeys do. All right, Prince? You live in fucking in Honeyland, man, in fairy tale land.
Like the fucking Huns do. Hey, Xander, absolutely awesome. I thank you so much, man. Don't forget, folks, Birds 365, it's going to be totally packed because this is the last day of training camp.
Yeah,
Cuts, by the way, too, ask John this question. I want you to ask this topic question for me. Ask him who he feels are going to be cut on Saturday.
Yeah, I will. We're going to talk about that.
And also, Xander, this Jets game, who is this Jet game mean the most to? Like who has to play well?
John's going to laugh at that. He's going to say nobody.
Okay, so wait a minute. What John doesn't get is that
I know.
There's still guys that have to make a roster. You have to make a roster still. All right. I can't wait to hear. Big Z, thank you, bro.
All right, Sills. Appreciate you guys. See you, everybody. Prince, cheer up, big guy. Cheer up, Prince. Love you, buddy.
You got it, man. I appreciate that, dude, man, very much so. He was awesome. We appreciate him. Don't forget to check out Birds 365. Let's pay some bills here. Don't forget the #1 injury law firm in all of America is Morgan & Morgan. Very proud to have these guys part of the program. Guys, we so appreciate it that they are part of our program, and they are the #1 injury law firm in all of America with over $30 billion recovered. Simple as that. $30 billion recovered with families across the country. Remember how Morgan & Morgan started. I told you the story. John's brother got paralyzed. And he did not want to see other companies taking advantage of other families across the country. And so it was a statement for him to start this company with him and his wife, Ultima. Morgan & Morgan's a family-run business, and John has gone out and he's been an advocate for making sure that people don't get taken advantage of. That story needs to be told more, why Morgan & Morgan is around and why they're the number one injury law firm in all of the world. Do me a favor, check them out at forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529, and do me a favor, you tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The following is a presentation of JAKIB Sports.
If you're a small business owner or you work for a company that loves the birds, you need to react fast before we've used up our entire ticket allocation. And here's why. In celebration of JAKIB Media's new partnership with Savvy Seats, JAKIB Media will give you a pair of VIP tickets for any game on the 2025 schedule, home or away. And we'll give your company or your boss a 20-week media sponsorship package across the #1 digital network for Eagles coverage, JAKIB Sports. And that includes all of our game day coverage. Cost for your business or company? About $50 a week. Let's recap everything. 20-week sponsorship package on JAKIB Sports, including commercial spots, live reads, and liners. Inclusion in all of our game day coverage, including the soon-to-be-announced Green Zone, and a pair of tickets to the home opener or any game on the 2025 regular season schedule. Remember, that's home or away. If you're in Kansas City and you want to go to the game against the Chiefs, no problem. If you live in Florida and you want to go to the game in Tampa Bay at the end of September, no problem. Text Krauss at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And remember, do it quickly before this incredible gift is gone. JAKIB Sports and Savvy Seats put you right in the action with VIP seating as we are proud to announce our partnership for the 2025 season with Savvy Seats. Text Krause right now at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And pick your game today. If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let JAKIB Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call JAKIB Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Man, this is going to be a good year. Man, am I looking forward to it. Yes, sir. Man. Wow. You know what? Some of you are out there probably going like this. He's rooting for the Eagles to lose. No. I root for content. I root for excitement. I like excitement. I want to see the league with exciting games. I like it. No. Nobody's root. I don't root for winners and losers. I don't root for somebody to win or lose. I can't think the last time I rooted for somebody to win, except for the Hurricanes. That's it. Okay? Wait a minute. Hey, M. Reyes, I don't have to root for it to lose when you're in it. It's automatic. There's one thing that's common. M. Reyes with a loss or an L in the chat. Yeah. Okay. Right. Are you kidding me? You're like the weather. You're like night and day. Hey, what's the one thing you can count on? An L from M. Reyes every day. Yes. Here. Watch this. What do you think the Eagles are going to do? 17-0. And they'll win the Super Bowl 72-0. All right. Hey, when you have people like that in the room, you can't debate that guy. It's impossible. What do you think of Hurts? Best quarterback in the last 50 years, including Brady. Put that in your head, fat man. Right? Hey, what do you think of Nick Sirianni? Better coach than Belichick. Never seen a coach like Nick Sirianni in my entire fucking life. Best I've ever seen. Him and Prince. But if you ever tuned into a Prince and M. Reyes show, holy shit. I mean, those two dudes would have to put their cheerleading outfits on like those guys in Minnesota and the guys in New England. And then after pom-poms. That's what those guys remind me of. Go on the internet right now. And the two cheerleader guys, the one guy that's in Minnesota and the one guy that's in New England, that's those two dudes doing a radio show or doing a show like ours here. Hey, you see M. Reyes doing like the triple sow cow? And then there's Prince, like, you know, doing the triple sow cow himself. Okay. Come on, Prince. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Hey, Prince. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Prince, I'm sorry. Okay. Forgive me. I don't want to hurt your feelings, man. Look, sorry, man. You know. I'm sorry, dude. I mean, sorry, I didn't mean it. You know, shut up. Okay, I'll shut up. I'm sorry, man. Seals, can you ask Jason Light if Jamal Dean's going to be cut? I have already. He wouldn't tell me, but I think they're got him on the trading block, and I think that'd be somebody that the Philadelphia Eagles might be interested in doing and taking a look at. Okay, yeah, I have to. Wait, everyone. Wait, Prince, please humbly accept my apology. Thoroughly sorry for your heart and your feelings being hurt. And if I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. You, M. Reyes, I'm not sorry. But you, Prince, okay. How about this one, Rich? Take a knee and mangiungats. Look it up. It's Italian. Dallas is glad those two guys are cheering for the Vikings because now Dallas. That's a Slagger. That's your best work in about a year. Okay? Hey, dude, that's your best work. That's the best work that you've had in 2 years. Okay? My grandmother, aunt, wife, sauce on angel hair. And you know what my grandma, my wife do? They get lobster. You could drop two lobster tails in and see, we got a family recipe for sauce. And it's the greatest sauce that's ever been made. There's no sauce I've never had. I am a professional. There's connoisseurs of wine. I know sauce. My wife knows sauce. My aunt knows sauce. And believe me, these two dudes my grandmother is the absolute queen of it, was. But my wife can make a great, it doesn't run in the plate. The whole thing is just insane great. And it's what she'll do, like my grandma did. She'll drop like two lobster tails in there. And God, that's one of my favorite dishes. I love that. Let's see here. So that would be it. Yes. Let's see here. Excuse me, Bruce. That'd be your mom. Let's see here. Yeah, your mom does. Says, I always viewed Sirianni as an Eagle Barry Switzer. I like Coach Switzer now. Listen, I don't like him. Oh, I love those. Those are fantastic. My daughter loves those. Nookies? Oh, whoa. My kid loves those. Yeah. Yeah. True. Okay. Yeah. Oh, man. Very difficult to do, bro. More than you think. Look, here, I'll give you for instance. So, like, my wife went up to my grandmother's house. She was my girlfriend at the time. She goes up there. She'd never had these meatballs. Okay. My wife eats these meatballs, and she's like, this is the greatest thing I've ever eaten. And I go, yeah, aren't they? They're like, so ever from that moment, this is years and years ago. And he goes, Grandma, can I have some more of the meatballs? My wife's asking for meatballs, right? So I go to my girlfriend, now wife's mom's house. She makes this spaghetti sauce. She goes, my wife looked over at me, eat it. And I go, I'm not eating that. And she goes, eat it. And I go, okay. So she's like, isn't that great? And I guess Kim had told her that, she makes good sauce. It's not bad for American sauce and noodles. It's not bad. But I was like, yeah, no, this is good. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, no. Yeah, no. And yeah, no, that's not happening. Yeah, no. Right. Yeah, we have a different style of sauce in this house. And so does my aunt. So the only way Jaden Daniels can have a better year is if he wins the Super Bowl. Do you agree? No. Super Bowl's a team accomplishment. He's got to play the same way he did a year ago. And winning the Super Bowl is not going to validate whether or not he's a great player or not. Winning a Super Bowl doesn't validate how great a player you are. It just does not. Brady was a great player no matter what. However, adding those 7 Super Bowls obviously puts him in as the best team sport player in the history of the NFL. Actually, if you want to put this in context, Tom Brady is the Bill Russell of NFL football. He's the greatest team sport football player, and he's the best player to ever play the position. Why? Well, he's got records, rings, and wins. He's got it all. How many players in the NFL don't have all of those numbers? Jalen Hurts doesn't have the numbers, right? He's got the resume. Okay. Warren Moon has the numbers, doesn't have the resume. It's just not everyone has it all. Hurts doesn't have it all. Far from it. He's got the resume. Brady's got the numbers, the wins, and the rings. Very few people have it. Here, Aaron Rodgers got a lot of records, has a nice resume because he won a Super Bowl and an MVP. Eli Manning's got more wins in postseason play. Eli Manning has had a better postseason career than what Aaron Rodgers has. As great as Aaron Rodgers was, as great as that guy, and as great as a player he was. Okay? Here's what Eagle fans are missing. Washington old players are going to leave Jaden out to dry, just as the young players are going to leave Jalen Hurts out to dry. Okay? Go either way. In Washington and in Philly, here's what's going to happen this year. Either the older players are going to elevate the Washington Commanders to being where I think they're going to be, or they're going to let them down. And in Philly, either the younger players are going to elevate on defense and take the Eagles back to where they were, or they won't. That's the story. That's the 2025 regular season story for both those franchises. Either the older players are going to pan out and hold up and help elevate the team, or they're not. And in Philly, those young players are either going to step up or they're not. They're all with limited experience. Okay? That's right. It's completely polar opposite. One's going to buy into their young roster, Philly, and the other's going to buy into older veterans. One of those stories is going to work. Get this, they both may work, and they both may fail. All right? Okay. Hey, what we talked about with Xander just now, bro, you got rotating pieces on defense at 4 positions heading into Dallas. 4 positions. Seals, to win one game, who you taking? Mahomes, Brady, Bradshaw, or Montana? Joe Montana. Montana's the Michael Jordan of the NFL. He doesn't lose in Super Bowls. He doesn't throw interceptions. He kills teams. He doesn't lose. He beats Elway and Marino. I mean, we're not beating Nick Foles here. I mean, right? Boomer Esiason, the year he beat the Bengals, was the MVP of the league. This guy, you're not beating bums. Seals, it's got a feeling that Bennett kid is going to be our guy. You know, he's going to start. He's going to start because Vic's got to trust him. Question around the league makes it interesting. Yes. That's why, get this, you may be at the poll right now, and I think you are. I think Philadelphia is at the poll right now. But when you get there and all of a sudden some of these guys don't pan out, or they do, injuries are going to play a factor. Injuries played a factor in the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you not agree? Injuries played a factor in the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl a year ago. Yes or no? Yes or no? And I'll explain. Okay? Played a factor. Injuries played a factor in your Super Bowl win. Yes or no? Odd way of looking at it. Okay? Here. Yes. And this. You were able to overcome them. You were able to overcome the injuries. You had no drop-off. You were able to, plug guys in and not miss a beat. But you had significant injuries that any other team last year would have been catastrophic. Losing Mulata for an extended period of time. How many games did you lose Mulata for? 4? The in and out of Slay at corner. Denver can't lose Patrick Surtain in that defense the way that Slay played a year ago, being in and out. How about the way that Cam Jurgens and Landon manned the center guard position with all the injuries? Lane missed 2. Look at the job that Fred did. So am I right when I say that Jalen missed 3? Get this. Am I right when I say this? Fred covered 2 games for Lane, and then he covered another 4 for Mulata. Is that right? I didn't realize that until just now. So Fred Johnson covered for 6 games with Lane and Mulata being out. Is that right? Wow, I didn't realize that. Wow, what a loss Fred is. Fred's a huge loss. By the way, I hear he's starting down in Jacksonville. Get this. Nothing catastrophic. Catastrophic is you haven't been able to fill those losses. Exactly what I told you the entire offseason. If you think, remember, Yale, anybody, we said from day one, when we came out on this show and said, you took a blowtorch to your defense, and if you think that you're replacing all those players that you've lost, you're nuts. And you haven't. You haven't, and you're 15 days out from the opener. You got guys in rotation roles right now that you're trying to figure it out. Get this. What's fake about it? You haven't replaced them. You have not upgraded at one position that you lost players at. Not one. And he'll lie to you and tell you that Keely Ringo's better than Slay. Or that Sidney's better than CJ. Or that Trotter's better than Dean. Or that Moro Jomo's better than Milton. Or that Jalix is better than Sweat. They're not. That's a lie. That's not fake news, folks. Those are facts. Those are facts. Even Vic knows you don't have the personnel here. You can fucking convince yourselves all you want. We're going to find out in 15 days. Okay? We're going to find out in 15 big games. I told you, man, you go back to your roster here. You got to put Makuba in there. Okay? Sidney Brown's not that good a player. He's okay. Take it back. He's a good player. He's nobody that I think is a frontline safety in this league. He can't tackle. That guy can't tackle. And for the record, you see people in here bringing Vic's name. Vic can't play the position for you, son. You got to have players go out there and execute. Vic's system is one thing. Players will let the system down. That's facts. See, M. Reyes thinks that you could put a person from the practice squad, and that's why he says, until further notice, the Eagles are the number one defense, even though they still have positions where they're rotating right now and decision-making, nobody knows. And you had to, get this, even your practice squad sucked. You know why? You had to trade for a corner. I listen to Sil, so I keep an open mind. Has a huge ego guy. Listen, here's the point here. I'm not saying that I told you this. WP, in the next 3 years, you're going to win a Super Bowl. The question's going to be what year that is. Okay? I think you're set up for the future, and I think in the next 3 years, you're going to get another one. I do. I really believe you're going to get another one in the next 3 years. I don't believe that's this year, though. Might not miss Becton as much as we'll miss other free agents, but dang. How do you set an NFL rushing record and then decide not to run it back with the same squad? Isn't that like common sense move? Well, yes. But then you know what you become? You become the Cowboys when you have that mentality. Then you start exiting great players like Mulata, Lane, AJ. The way that get this, folks. Do you understand the way that Howie did business this year makes it so that they extended the careers of AJ Brown, Lane Johnson, Saquon Barkley. They've extended their careers. How? They can keep them on the team longer. Whereas if you do the Cowboy way of business, the next 2 years, almost all those players would have to exit because you have salary cap problems. So Howie's looking at it like this. Would you rather be in a room to win the Super Bowl the next 3 years or 1 year? Howie took the 3 years. I think that's proper. I think that's the right way to look at it, because you're always competitive and you never know with injuries where you're going to fall. You may fall in line to win a Super Bowl like you did in 17. Nobody thought that team was going to win a Super Bowl in 2017. But because the quarterback, remember all the quarterbacks that got hurt? That's not the point. Get this. Stop all your weapons. Your weapons were not used a year ago. What weapons? Your weapons were put in a barn last year during the regular season. You make it sound like you had the best regular season in the NFC. You didn't. Detroit was better than you last year in the regular season. Detroit got bounced in the postseason. Regular season-wise, they were in a tougher division, and they won more ball games. Don't sound like you had the best regular season. You didn't. And that was Detroit, even with their injuries. Okay? But they could be good. Yes. Health. You're not going into the season healthy. That's for damn sure. That's the point, Paul. You never know what the conference is going to look like. The conference could fall apart and the Eagles roll right into it. Yes, any team could. That's right. What would Case Keenum was in the postseason? He was quarterbacking what, the Minnesota Vikings or something? Sills, would you make a trade with Cincinnati? No, man, because I think your game plan right now, I think you're set up, again, for winning the Super Bowl one of those times in the next 3 years. Okay? I do. I think you're in the conversation to win the Super Bowl. Here, let's see. As long as Howie keeps our core together, we have a chance. Dude, the core guys are not going to win you the Super Bowl. Units win Super Bowls. You think if you have 4 players on your team and you have trash around them, you're going to win a Super Bowl? That's fucking asinine thinking. Completely asinine. Yeah. It was like the backup bowl, right? Hey, Sam, was it the NFC Championship game, like the backup bowl? What was it, Foles and who? Keenum? In that NFC title game? I mean, you never know what would happen. I was joking, but some people really do act like Joe Montana didn't have a super team around him. Only applies to Hurts. Name me one superstar on that offense in the first Super Bowl. One, Philadelphia. One superstar player. In the first Super Bowl they won. Name me one. He didn't have a super team. He had a bunch of good players. He didn't have anybody. Not one guy in the O-line made the Hall of Fame. Not one wide receiver made the Hall of Fame. Not one running back made the Hall of Fame. Nobody. He had nobody on that team. He had nobody but him and a defense. That's it. It was Montana and nobody else. Nobody was on that team. And for the record, even those Super Bowl 49er teams, Joe Montana and Jerry Rice are the only Hall of Famers that were on those 4 Super Bowl teams that he played on. 2. Rice on offense. Rice and Joe. That's it. Rice and Joe. He had a receiver and him. This guy says that the Niners had superstar teams. Randy Krauss and Steve Wallace were good players. They're not Hall of Fame players. They were good. And once again, offense. Okay? When before they got loaded. It's a fake narrative. It is. Like Joe had a super team? That's the biggest joke going. Once again, offense. Okay? The 49ers in that era was a super team. This guy will tell himself that and convince himself. He couldn't name me one fucking guy who ever made the Hall of Fame off that one first team that he played on to win a Super Bowl. Get this, folks. He thinks these guys are Hall of Fame and super teams. Burt Cooper, Wendell Tyler, Freddie Solomon. Whom else? I can't think of anybody else. Dwight Clark was good. Brent Jones? Brent Jones is like Harrison Bryant. The guy will convince himself and sit there and tell you that he'll tell you this, that Freddie Solomon was a Hall of Fame type player. Who the fuck is Freddie Solomon? I knew Freddie Solomon. The guy's a bullshit artist. Montana was the catalyst of those 49er teams. His passing game was from another world. Yeah. You want to hear something too, Blaine? Montana had 140 quarterback rating, and those 4 wins, never threw a pick. And he threw 13 touchdowns and no interceptions. Against pretty good football teams with Elway and Marino. Never threw a pick. In any Super Bowl. Had 140 quarterback rating. Sills, what the 49ers had the first year was the fact that the defense had not figured out how to stop the West Coast offense. The scheme and Montana's skills gave him a huge edge. And he would go on and win 3 more. He would go on and develop Jerry Rice. Remember, Jerry Rice came out of Mississippi Valley State. Okay? Nobody knew who the hell he was. So his versatility and depth was our greatest weapon. Was our greatest weapon. We don't have that now. Yes, that's true. Roger Craig wasn't on that first team, but Roger was a really good player. Ricky Waters wasn't on that first team, but he was a good football player. Yeah, you're right, Samuel. You're in the conversation there. West Coast defenses was crying in the Eagles chats earlier. Sills is a hacker now. You'll have to put that in the Twiz fucking meat grinder for figuring out stupidity. Joe Cool. Here, look at this. Says the 49ers and Cowboys bought their Super Bowls with no salary caps. Stop lying to people. They built their Super Bowl teams. Name me one guy outside of Charles Haley that Jimmy Johnson got not from the draft when he built those Cowboy teams. And this guy's a bullshitter. None of this is true here. Bill Walsh and a guy by the name of I'm trying to figure it out. Wait a minute. John McVay, Bill Walsh, and Ed DeBartolo built the 49ers through the draft. This guy's dumb. That's the end of him. Randy Krauss was a Hall of Fame. No, he wasn't. Bryant never played with Montana. Nice job. Last season, we had no depth until the season started. Oh, you're right. You got it covered now. You're rotating at 4 positions going into the Cowboy game. No, you got it. Sills, back in the 80s and 90s, the Super Bowl was the NFC Championship game. Very true. Absolutely true. Whoever won the NFC title game between the Cowboys and the 49ers, and shit, the Eagles were in that conversation. They just couldn't get around it because They just didn't have an offense, or an offensive line, I should say. 2024 D was no holes. The 2025 D will look like NHL line changes. The only guy who came off the field last year was Davis. Lots of personnel changes this season. Boy, I'll tell you what, Bob, that's a great take that I hadn't thought of. And you know what? They're going to catch that defense in substitutional situations, and it's going to cost them touchdowns this year. Absolutely right. This is right here, the thing, Bob, that I've been trying to tell Xander and everybody about Milton Williams and Josh Sweat. Those guys didn't have to come off the field. The only guy that came off the field a year ago was Davis, like Bob is saying here. We've been saying. This year, you got rotation pieces at linebacker, safety, corner, and edge. You got rotating pieces everywhere. That means people come off the field. Okay? Nobody came off the field last year. They didn't come off the field. I mean, Sweat and Milton played over, counting the playoffs, 1,000 reps. Okay? I mean, that's a fact. Get this. You're going to go into this Cowboy game with rotating corners, rotating safeties, or rotating linebackers. You're going to want to get Campbell on the field, are you not? You're in my opinion, Hunt, Ojulari, and Uche are going to rotate at that one outside linebacker position, the Sam. Folks, we'll see. Get this. Name me one place where you feel that you upgraded on defense this offseason. Where? Where did you upgrade? I can find 5 downgrades. At least 5 downgrades. You upgraded at linebacker? Really? How'd you upgrade at linebacker? So you think that Jahad Campbell and Trotter together are a upgrade over Dean, who had 130 tackles? You downgraded at linebacker, did you not? Where did you? So wait a minute. Wow, you really think that Moro Ajomo is a better player than Milton Williams? How do you think that? You've downgraded. Get this. See this here? If Trotter starts at linebacker, folks, let me show you what a dummy this guy is. If you start Trotter at linebacker over what Dean did a year ago, is that a downgrade, yes or no? Even over Oren Burks, is that the guy couldn't beat Burks out? Is that a downgrade? We're talking about starting the Cowboy game in 15 days. In that game against the Dallas Cowboys, I'm not talking about week 9. I am talking about week 1 in 15 days. Folks, is that a downgrade? Will you please tell this guy that's a downgrade? He doesn't see that. That's why his takes are L's. On paper versus reality. Okay, Yale. Yale. He couldn't get on the field a year ago. He couldn't be. Get this. The guys that you have replacing those players from a year ago couldn't beat out the backups in Oren Burks and Isaiah Rodgers. They couldn't beat the backups out. Those guys are going to start for you. How in the world are you? Listen, if that's all we've been saying about Jordan Davis for 3 years, if Munden's better than Burks and he's never played a snap in a regular season NFL game. So that, I guess, is an opinion, Mr. International, right? That's an opinion. Okay. Nothing wrong with an opinion. Right? You're guessing he's better. Burks is starting for the Bengals now. Burks started in your Super Bowl. Burks has actually been started. Actually, Burks played in 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years. Pretty crazy if you think about it. Actually, Burke played in Super Bowls in the last 2 years. He's not. 49ers and, right? 49ers and the Eagles. So he's played in 2 consecutive Super Bowls. But you think that Munden's better than him. Yeah, that's not the point. My point is that Oren Burks played in 2 Super Bowls as linebacker for the Niners and for the Eagles and started one of them. Trotter was a special teams guy, and he couldn't beat him out. And that's your starter going into the Cowboys. And somehow some of you think that's an upgrade. Good luck to you. Don't always agree with Sills, but our depth is definitely an issue. Last year's backups are expected to start, and our backups are now rookies and second-year players. And an experience, too, Michael. Michael, I'm not suggesting to you, and remember what I said, Michael, I think you're going to be a better football team if things work out. Once again, Trotter was a rookie. Jalix Hunt played. Q and Cooper got on the field. I saw people that were rookies playing last year. I saw Jalix Hunt, who was drafted by Nowhere University, got on the field, played in the Super Bowl, played pretty good. I didn't see Trotter playing. Why? Because he couldn't beat Burks out. Because he's a rookie. Vic plays the best people he has on his roster. That doesn't go by seniority. Vic doesn't have seniority. Yeah, and see this right here? Hope's not a strategy. Okay? Why? He started for... I'll tell you what. You say that. It's a Niner guy. But you know what he did, which I really like about Oren Burks? Patrick Mahomes took his ass apart for the 49ers. You know why he's mad? Because he wasn't ready to play in that spotlight. Well, after getting his ass kicked in that Niners Super Bowl against Kansas City, he turned around and played in that Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes with the Eagles, and he fucking shut the doornails down and part of that group that beat the living piss out of Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. And I'd be mad too if I was 49er guy. Why didn't he play like that in the Super Bowl with the 49ers? He turned around the following year after getting his ass kicked in that Super Bowl and absolutely beat the shit out of that team when he was starting for the Eagles in that Super Bowl. He was part of the SmackDown. So I'd be mad too if I was 49er guy. I'd be pissed off too. Okay? Yeah, hey. 49er guy saw the guy come in for Dre Greenlaw, and he got spun around like a top. Right? He got spun around like a top. He plays there for the Eagles. This guy goes in there, and he's making plays. I think he was the second leading tackler in the Super Bowl. Wasn't he? With like a really great game playing for the Eagles in the Super Bowl. He was great. Trotter's a nice reserve on a good team. The Trot is one of your main linebackers. Your linebacking core has issues. Yeah, he's slow. He's a good player, man. I think he'll be better with better people around him. but he's a liability in pass coverage, my opinion. I think Munden's a better player, but Munden doesn't have the playbook yet. He's got to get up to speed better with the playbook. He's a better football player. He runs the line of scrimmage better. He drops in coverage better. He fills holes better, in my opinion. I think he's just a better athlete. When you watch him play and then you watch Trotter play, Trotter looks like his feet are in quicksand. And he's kind of still thinking out there. Smile Munden's a better football player. I mean, like, he's good. Like, I could see the two starting linebackers in 3 years on this team being Jahad Campbell and Smile Munden being your two inside linebackers. I mean, look, I like Trotter. There's no disrespect. He just doesn't look better than those guys. And Jahad Campbell's case, he's just got to get up, again, to the playbook. That's why I think Trotter probably starts in that Cowboy game. But they're going to get him in there. Okay? Okay? Are you trying to tell me you think that Jeremiah Trotter Sr. ran a 5 flat? Trotter runs a 4.8. I ran a 4.8. Bro, that's not true. Jeremiah Trotter could run. And back in the day, you didn't have to have exceptional speed. You had to have exceptional size playing in the early 2000s and late 90s. You were bigger. There were more run-dominant football teams. You had to be a bigger dude. Linebackers were bigger people. So speed wasn't really part of it. So you could get away with being a 4.8, 4.75 guy. Nowadays, you can't because the game is played more in space. And by the way, disrespecting Trotter Sr. like that guy was a fucking great football player. Jeremiah Trotter Sr. could play, man. He wasn't Seth, but that dude can play. How's he going to have 100 tackles when he's not going to start once Jahad Campbell? So wait a minute. You're going to start a 5th rounder over a 1st rounder? Use some brains, dude. That doesn't even make Howie sense. Mr. International's telling you that Jeremiah Trotter is going to be the starter the entire year, and they're going to keep Campbell on the bench. Why'd you draft him 31st or 30th? Oh, why would you draft him 31? Put him on the line. Bro, they're not putting him on the line. He's practice limited out there. He's had a few snaps. He's a liability in pass coverage. 70% of the time, you're a nickel. What are you talking about? All right, let me pay some bills here. $30 billion recovered. What does that number mean? That means that Morgan & Morgan is the number one injury law firm in all of America. Their track record is second to none. They are the number one injury law firm in the world, let alone America. Why? Because they win. They defend families from coast to coast, making sure you and your family get the best and proper defense when it comes to being right. I mean, folks, get this. They don't get paid unless you win. So they take these cases. And if you've ever been injured, no matter what it is, like the wildfires in Los Angeles, or if you've been hurt in an Uber, anywhere, anything, they will take your case, they will evaluate their case, and they will do their due diligence to make sure you win. Do me a favor. Check them out at forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
following is a presentation of JAKIB Sports.
If you're a small business owner or you work for a company that loves the birds, you need to react fast before we've used up our entire ticket allocation. And here's why. In celebration of JAKIB Media's new partnership with Savvy Seats, JAKIB Media will give you a pair of VIP tickets for any game on the 2025 schedule, home or away. And we'll give your company or your boss a 20-week media sponsorship package across the #1 digital network for Eagles coverage, JAKIB Sports. And that includes all of our game day coverage. Cost for your business or company? About $50 a week. Let's recap everything. 20-week sponsorship package on JAKIB Sports, including commercial spots, live reads, and liners. Inclusion in all of our game day coverage, including the soon-to-be-announced Green Zone, and a pair of tickets to the home opener or any game on the 2025 regular season schedule. Remember, that's home or away. If you're in Kansas City and you want to go to the game against the Chiefs, no problem. If you live in Florida and you want to go to the game in Tampa Bay at the end of September, no problem. Text Krauss at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And remember, do it quickly before this incredible gift is gone. JAKIB Sports and Savvy Seats put you right in the action with VIP seating, as we are proud to announce our partnership for the 2025 season with Savvy Seats. Text Krause right now at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And pick your game today. If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let JAKIB Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio, or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call JAKIB Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Last day at training camp. Not like the old days. Last day at training camp used to be pretty cool. Okay? I mean, but again, I'm going to sound like, oh, man, get off my lawn, dude. Whew. Man. Oh. Here's old school training camp. So you come out of a Ray Perkins training camp, and you come out of 2 months of 3-a-days. No. 2 weeks of 3-a-days. Total of 2 months of 2-a-days. And 5 preseason football games. Sometimes 4. You know, it used to be back in the day, it was 7. It was 7 preseason games. No, 6. 6 preseason games. Yeah, you used to play 6 preseason games. Like back in the 70s, those guys played a ton of football games in the exhibition. They actually used to play an all-star game against, like, college all-stars, which was crazy. I like that idea, actually. But anyway, yeah, so now, you know, they've pared it down. So cuts are Saturday. I can't wait to hear on Birds 365 who John thinks that is going to make the team, who's not going to make the team, and who needs this game maybe to make the roster. There's a couple guys, probably there's still some roster spots. Remember, 60% of your guys, there's 22 starters. Someone's got to make the club on the other end. And backups are going to be, you're still going to play some of the backups this week. So we'll see. All right. Thank you guys so much. Big Joe, Xander, we appreciate it. 2 to 6 tomorrow. Until then, we'll see you on the flip side.